Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Drunkards and Dragons stream. Oh no, my notes are calling for a show where we roll some dice, have some drinks, and try not to die to either of those things. And today they're going to try not to die to a black dragon. Before we get started, I just have to say for legal reasons, none of the music I'm using today belongs to me at all. It's all royalty free from YouTube, and if you want to check that out, I can post the link. But none of this music belongs to me. So last time, our heroes made it to the bottom of the ocean and beyond, where they came into the ship graveyard, where all the thousands of ships who had tried to pass through the abyssal's edge before had failed. Making their way through the ship graveyard, they discovered that there were spirits and ghosts inhabiting this ocean floor. And as they made their way through, they fought off several of them, and eventually came face to face with the vortex that they'd seen on the surface, on the water's surface, as well as down here. Hopping through, they were transported to a place of pure darkness, pure abyssal darkness, no light, no anything, until they finally found the crystal, to which they touched it and teleported inside, and entered this topsy-turvy world of dismantled void energy and debris, and disconnected from itself. It seemed that whatever entity this place was once before had been destroyed by the void energy surrounding this place. They transcended through this darkness until they came face to face with Zanverdis, the Voidbringer, the primal black dragon that was sealed away by the gods long ago. The party tried to negotiate with him, and unfortunately failed, as he decided that helping them or killing them now made no difference, that either way he'd be free soon. And that's what we're picking up today. So the first things first is everyone needs to roll initiative. 25 to 20?
Yeah.
24.
Nice. So let's see, 24?
Yep.
And 20 to 15? 15 to 10?
9. 10.
Nice. Alright, well, Alexia, you get to start us off.
Okay. Oh man. Alright, for my bonus action, I will cast Slayer's Prey.
Okay.
Wait, is he within, how close are we to him?
So he's technically a gargantuan creature. So he's very close to you.
Oh, okay. This is working. Alright, so I'll cast Slayer's Prey, and... Oops.
For the people at home, with a Slayer's Prey too.
Oh, so Slayer's Prey, I can... If it's a creature within 60 feet, it allows me to deal 1d6 damage on the first attack that hits the creature each turn.
Okay.
What do I want to do? I'll try a grasping arrow on him.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
17 to hit.
17 misses. You fire your arrow, and it flies forward and pinks off of his scales.
Okay. I will try for another grasping arrow.
Okay.
Oh, better. 22 to hit.
22 just barely hits.
Okay. Alright, so since I'm using Leviathan, when the target is hit, they have to make a DC 14 con save, or their movement is halved.
Okay, they make it.
Okay. Okay, so that's a 10, right? 10. 8. And miss. Alright. Do you need to know the different types of damage?
No.
Alright, so he also needs to make a DC 15 athletics.
Makes it.
Okay. So 9. 31 damage.
31 damage. So as your arrow hits him the second time, it seems to make some kind of indent into his scales. You hit maybe the small slight indentation between each one, although they're massive and thick. The vines try to wrap around him, however, and they wither before they even complete getting around him. They wither and just fall to the ground and turn to ash.
Alright. I will attempt a bursting arrow on him for my final attack. Oh, nope, that misses.
What'd you get?
I got a 2 plus 13, so 15.
Yeah. So the small indentation you made in his armor with the arrow, you fire again, and this time it goes wide as it starts flapping his wings, and the huge gust from this makes it go off target. Anything else? You use your bonus action in your attack? Do you want to move at all?
No. I'm good.
Okay. So... the first thing that happens is... I'm just gonna fall. The darkness itself seems to start pulling at your guys' feet and begins to kind of crawl up your guys' legs and around you, and you kind of shake it off, but it lingers and begins to spread. And you guys are completely encased in darkness and cannot see anyone next to you, in front of you, or around you.
I should have moved.
So for purposes of this, you are blinded. So that's just the start of his turn. And then... I need Ithlin and Alexia to make dexterity saving throws. And since you cannot see, there will be disadvantage.
$11.
13.
13. You guys are really close, but you're still... unfortunately. Alright, well... D8.
How many do you need?
I don't want to say.
Well, I have 3.
Or not, apparently.
I thought I had a red D8, but I guess... Oh, there it is. I did. It's right there.
I have 5 if you need them.
Yeah. This will do.
You need D6s at all?
I have D6s.
Okay.
Alright. So here's a sliver away to do math. See, both of you will take 66 points of necrotic damage. Here goes back if you need them.
Am I still
this one isn't
affected?
mine.
You have not...
This is-
Huh?
Am I still affected by what happened in
I
the
need a
last
black one
session
back.
that
What?
made my...
Yes, you have not had a full
HP
rest yet, and so your
91.
hit points are still reduced by that 48.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I'm almost dead, guys.
Yeah,
so,
that almost did half my health,
so, through the mist,
we're gonna die.
through this darkness that you see currently, or rather don't see, this huge billowing foul stench fills the air, and you smell it before you feel it. As you feel it hit your skin, and you immediately smell your flesh begin to bubble and sizzle as you're hit with this acid breath.
Really gross.
That is the end of its turn, though, and that brings
Is it
us
eating
to...
away at our armor as well?
All of you have magical armor, so no.
Oh.
Not yet, anyways.
Oh.
Varys, it's your turn.
Just a matter of time. This is my mother's armor.
I begin walking forward.
Be real upset.
Oh, your armor's not magical. Never mind.
Boom.
So you breach the darkness, and you see that the ground in front of it, where it spewed forth the breath attack, has completely melted away this granite-like stone in front of you, and there's just a trail leading from it to them.
Oh shit. Guys, I'd get out of there if I were you. Alright, so it's 13, 15, 20. I will move over here. I will conjure my packed weapon and draw my second scimitar. And then I will Hexblade's Curse, and I'm done.
Okay. Ithlin, you were up.
I'll move out of it as well.
So you also see it. I just described the various part of the granite stone, this black obsidian stone, just completely melted away. A trail leading from it to where you were just standing. You do see this it's just a sphere of darkness there. Out of place in this already dark place, it's just there.
Looks like he's gonna die tonight.
Yeah, I was really worried about that.
Probably both of us.
Just FYI.
No, you guys are gonna be fine. It's the third dragon you guys are fighting. You got this by now.
Not with my health significantly reduced.
You still got that potion.
Yeah, that only takes me up to a 91. Not my full, what my HP is supposed to be.
I guess I'll just use a firebolt.
Okay.
Ooh, nat 20. Oh,
Nice. First nat 20, guys.
Nice.
Alright. I need
Gives you 10s, right?
Yes.
It's 3 more.
Cool. That gets me most of the way.
How many do you need?
6.
Yeah.
How many more?
It's in the
No,
form
okay,
more.
already.
Uh, 28 damage.
28 damage. The fire explodes against him and it begins to spread almost across his body before it just goes out on its own volition, but it spreads for quite a while and you hear him roar in defiance. Perhaps I will not kill you. You'll be good test subjects.
Oh my. How many spaces did I move? I'll move.
You, Alexia, being the only one left in the darkness at this point. Not only are your senses completely gone, you cannot see at all. Hearing through it is kind of like this sound.
And that's all I can do.
Okay. Back to the top of the round, Alexia.
Ooh, moving. I'm just gonna run straight forward until I get out of the darkness.
You stumble a little bit as you step into the huge crater its breath attack made,
Oh, of course.
as you're not expecting the ground to be lower than what it was. But you kind of stumble out and you look behind you and you can see just out of place sphere of darkness there.
Okay. Gonna finish my movement. Yeah. Alright. What to do? What I do now. I'm gonna use my bonus to mark it with Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Nope. Do spell slots come back without taking a rest?
No.
No, I'm not. Never mind.
Are you spell slots too?
No spell
Okay.
slots left.
You still have those arrows
Yeah, I know.
and that potion and that orb.
It seems like a waste on one dragon who's technically not even the strongest one we're supposed to fight. Okay, so for one action, I'll cast Armor of Agathes at 3rd level, so I now have 15.
Using Leviathan's effect?
Yeah.
And that's an action, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As one
So you hold
action.
out the bow, and the ice, the water that usually forms the bowstring when you pull back an arrow, it instead kind of forms and twirls around the bow, and then goes up your hand and across your chest, and that whoosh, spreads across into ice before just kind of vanishing. But you can feel its cooling effect there.
Okay. Alright, so I have 15 temp hit points.
Yes.
If he decides to melee me for any reason, he'll also take damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I'll use the Dragon's Bane arrow with Leviathan.
With what action?
My second one?
You have multiple attacks when you attack, but you only have one action.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
So you got
Get an
the
action surge.
You got the action surge.
Oh man, so early. Alright. Oh, I guess I could second one too. Alright, I action search.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll attack with the Dragon's Bane arrow.
Okay.
Alright, so that gives me +2 to the to hit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the additional effect of the dragon slaying arrows.
It's not good. Alright, so 16. That only gets me up to 19.
19 just barely misses, unfortunately.
Of course it does.
You fire, and you see him just tilt his head, this serpent-like head just kind of duck under, and it whooshing, goes right past his eye, and you see him in shock at that almost hitting him.
Oh, that's total waste of a dragon's bane arrow.
It clatters.
No, it's useless.
Clatters over here.
Alright, I'll attempt one more dragon's bane.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. Okay. 29.
That definitely hits. That overhits for a bit.
Alright, so he needs a DC 17 con.
Well, that would be a failure, but he will decide to pass instead.
Okay.
So one of his legendary resistances is gone.
1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 D10s.
Yeah. So roll all that damage still, but then just have the dragon's bane arrow damage.
Yeah. And he still gets the regular.
Yeah, and then you get the regular damage on top of that as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but just have the dragon's bane damage.
It's terrible damage. 3, 4, 12.
Is this music doing it for you guys?
20, 25.
I mean, I haven't felt the pressure yet, but
You guys get so serious when battles happen.
27 damage.
Including the dragon's bane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, yeah. It was 31 and then halved is 15. And I only did 12 by myself.
Still, it's not bad. The dragon's bane arrow hits him, and although he manages to suppress the effect, you see one large scale on his body, particularly in the chest near his shoulder. It just kind of cracks under the pressure of that arrow, and then the arrow falls to the ground.
Okay. Alright, for my last attack, I'll do a bursting arrow.
Okay. Also a dragon's bane?
No.
Okay.
We gotta use those scarcely. More than 19.
More than 19?
It's a lot.
Okay.
it's like in the 30s somewhere.
Like 32.
Okay, yeah, that definitely hits.
7, 15, 25, 33 damage.
33, not bad.
Yeah.
Alright.
I still, nope, I can't do any of those. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I will use second wind for my bonus action and then I'm done.
Yeah, you can use Hunter's Mark, so yeah, you can use that. After that is his turn. Let's see if his breath attack recharges. It does not.
Oh, nice.
Makes his way over to you, Varys.
Oh, don't mind me. You
Um,
want the ones over there with more meat on their bones, I'm sure.
I guess you are smaller than all of us, huh?
I need all three of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
No!
Oh, hello.
Oh, man.
Pretty bad.
Worst
those.
one.
Mm.
Please at least allow me the
Oh
function
my
to be able
God.
to poop.
Well, we're gonna have to use
Oh, God.
Indomitable on that.
I already used it!
You can
I'm
use
dead!
luck too. You can use luck too.
Oh,
Luck and Indomitable stack for your one-time use of luck every turn. What's your total?
5.
15.
15?
16.
16?
Alexia's
Unfortunately, all of you fail.
Oh my God.
So, you're all considered frightened for one turn.
Cool. This Does that mean disadvantage on things?
What this means is you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of your fear is within sight. And you cannot move closer to the creature willingly. Your impulse every turn is to move away from it as much as possible. So.
Alright, is disadvantage on attack and to hit?
On the ability checks and attack rolls while the source of your fear is within line of sight.
Gotcha. Ability
Where are
checks.
the walls?
You can't tell, actually. You guys appear to be just kind of floating in space. This black abyssal area, but at the same time, you have like these blinking stars underneath of you, and the only solid ground you guys have found so far, apart from the tower and the steps you took to get here, is this obsidian slab that you guys are all standing on.
Got it.
But for all intents and purposes, you guys appear to be out in space.
I'm missing one of my d10s. Did you take my dice?
Nope.
Where'd my dice go?
You didn't give one to Jordan, or tried to.
No. Because I used them. Whatever.
So that is
oh, it's right there. Never mind.
the beginning of his attack roll, and then on you, Varys, we'll make 3 attacks on you.
Ooh.
And actually, surprisingly bad. Got a natural 1.
Oh.
Got a 9,
Shut.
which
Pretty
makes
sure that
it
still hits me.
Probably.
24.
Yeah, that hits me.
Oh, jeez.
And I have a reaction on that attack.
Okay.
I will Hellish Rebuke at 6th level.
Oh.
Okay. And then the other one's 29, so that's 2 attacks that'll hit you.
Yeah, so I'll take the damage for the first one, and then
Okay.
needs to make a dex save.
Okay. Let me roll the damage real quick. So damage for that first one is 16.
Okay.
More so the force of it as this claw slams into you is not only do you feel its nails scrape against your armor, but it's more so the force of him hitting you. It stumbles you in your place for a second. You feel yourself move back a couple feet as he hits you, and it's just the sheer force of it more than anything, but your armor seems to protect you from the blunt of that attack. And at the same time, seemingly your armor protected you so well that as he goes in for the bite attack, him hitting you creates kind of an offshoot in his attack, and he goes face first into the ground and takes a large chunk out of the obsidian. So this natural 1.
Okay.
So that's the first attack with 16, and then you have a response.
Yeah, Hellish Rebuke. So I need him to make a dex save. DC. Where's my fucking save bonus? 19.
He will fail.
Does he though?
I would say I know it's at 6th level, but he doesn't, so he will not make himself pass on that one.
Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. 10, 17, 24, 32. Is that a 6? Oh, that's a 9. Oh shit. 41 plus 5. Alright, he takes 46 fire damage.
Nice.
Just imagining like Final Fantasy 15 Noctis doing like one of those parries where he like fires them. But, like that.
So I have a question for you. Let me roll this damage for you real quick though. So the final attack that he does on you.
Does it kill you?
Does it kill me outright?
Actually, I'll say this. Because of this, so first of all, how would you like to do this?
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. With your hellish rebuke,
What?
his body
What?
courses into flames, and as the eldritch energy of that attack kind of falls up him, it goes all over his scales, his wings, his mouth. He starts breathing fire. He's an acid-based dragon.
Yeah.
So how do you want this?
Oh my god, did you just like light all of the acid inside his body on fire?
I was
blow him
aiming
up?
for like get it to go down his throat and just.
Oh, that's great.
So as he's spitting out the obsidian, he's trying to spit out these large chunks of his razor-like teeth and just kind of cut through. And as he's kind of like coughing up a hairball, much like a cat, you kind of touch his claw that hit you, and send the Hellish Rebuke up him, and it kind of just soars everywhere through him, into his mouth, and you see him trying to recoil from it, but it just doesn't happen.
Jeez.
That was a lot shorter than I was expecting it to be.
Is he on the ground just not moving now?
Yes.
I poke him.
Is that how you want to kill him?
Ha! Not so tough now.
Yeah, the fear effect disappears from you guys.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
Well, that was not what I was expecting at all.
Easier than I was expecting, for sure.
Wow, this is the first time this has ever happened. I actually get healed from my pain.
Before you make any actions,
I collapse exhausted.
you guys are still in combat.
With what? With what?
So, his body begins to kind of shake as he pulls himself to his feet.
Oh no.
And as this happens, the scales and the black feathers that made up its wings kind of fall and molt to the ground, and the scales fade away, and what you see is this half-scaled, half-fleshy skeletal dragon in front of you.
Oh no.
Oh, I know what this is now.
Oh no. Did we just
It looks kind of like this.
undead dragon? Ugh.
Yep.
Oh.
The experimenter.
That's gross.
Did he ascend? This was happening, he ascended.
I knew this was too good to be true.
Okay, so important question.
Back to fighting.
Did he die
No.
from the first time?
No.
Okay.
He just collapsed and...
An important thing, too, is that you all can sense his type has changed. As the Dragon's Bane sword you have is glowing a fiery hot red, it returns to its normal color.
He's not a dragon anymore?
He's an undead creature now.
Oh! Oh. Oh, dang.
How in the fuck can it still be moving around after its flesh was melted from its body? I don't understand.
It does make it Itlin's turn, however. Actually, it's the end of Varys' turn, so he'll use a legendary action.
Oh, man.
It was the end of his turn.
You've seen the... Well, I guess so, yeah.
I killed him
'cause
with
he
a
was
reaction.
attacking.
Okay, it's Varys' turn
That's
then.
true. That's true.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Ooh, buddy. I feel
Okay.
like you have to take a shot.
I do have to take a shot because I got a natural one. You know, I'll say with that natural one, it was still a 16 to hit, so...
That frightens me.
That sucks. For us.
I will use a bonus action to cast Healing Spirit at 4th level, because it's the highest of the spell slot I have now.
Okay.
And I will put it...
In the dirt.
right here.
Where we can't find it.
So if you guys walk out, all you have to do is walk into the space and then walk out and get healed for 4? No. 3. 3d6. There we go. Alright, so he's still up and about and moving?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Dang it.
Shit! Hey, look over here! And I will cast Eldritch Blast
Okay.
at his face. Alright.
So, since technically it has become a new creature, your Hexblade's Curse is also not effective on it anymore.
Okay.
Neither is your Hunter's Bane or whatever it's called.
The Dragon's Bane?
No,
Hunter's Mark?
no.
Or Slayer's Prey?
Slayer's Prey.
Well, yeah, that was only
Okay.
like one. Yeah.
So I
That's not
got a
dragon specific.
19, 22, and a 28.
It's
only
because
a one
it's
shot.
because
It
it's,
doesn't
it's, 'cause
linger.
it's a new creature. So
But it doesn't linger. It's
sorry.
just
Anyway,
a one shot.
I got a 19, 22, and a 28.
the 22 and 28 hits.
Okay. Oh, it's kind of sad. So he'll take a total of 18 force damage.
From both those attacks.
Yeah, combined. Got a 9 for both of them.
Okay.
And I am done.
Okay. At the end of your turn, he'll make a tail attack at you.
Dragon used tail whip.
It's super effective.
I
33.
guess I will cast shield anyways.
Okay. So it's a 33 still.
Yeah.
So you throw out the arcane shield, and the bony, half covered in scaled tail comes at you, and it completely shatters the arcane barrier and goes through. It does protect your vital organs from the attack, but you do feel the force of it, which is 15 points of damage. 23 points of damage. And that's the end of your turn. Ithlin, you're up.
I'm going to cast haste.
Oh, okay.
And what amount of time is a single turn?
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Oh,
Haste lasts
okay.
for 10 minutes, doesn't it? Or a minute?
A minute, so
it's 10 rounds.
10 rounds, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so with your action of haste, you then get its effects, which is doubling your movement, giving you a hasted action.
It's doubles my movement speed, plus 2 AC,
Yes.
advantage on dexterity saving throws, and I get an extra action.
Mm-hmm.
But with the extra action, I can only take one attack if I choose to attack.
Yes. But you get that instant action immediately, so
Yeah.
you can take your hasted action if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you cannot use your bonus action since you did not make a melee attack with the primary action.
With the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my action to put the dragon's main sword away and summon a packed weapon.
Okay.
Because my packed weapon's going to do more damage.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you do that?
And then...
So as you cast haste on yourself, for a moment, everyone around you kind of slows down for a second, and you're kind of just standing there as you're putting your sword away and then summoning the other one, and you can see like the slow heave of Varys and Alexia's chest kind of go up. You can see the sweat kind of slowly dripping down their faces, and you're definitely in a heightened state of movement right now.
Alright.
Also, there's a glowing tiger next to you.
Yeah. I'm going to take my movement and just kind of
Yeah, and so you
move
have
through him.
60 feet of movement naturally now, so...
Yeah, I don't need to move that far.
If you want to like
You
move,
get back 9 hit points.
if you want to move through the,
Oh, I suppose I could just move back and forth a few times.
I think it only happens once a turn, but you could
Yeah,
move.
Oh, it's once
You
a
could
turn?
move through it and then run up on the dragon at the same time. Like you have plenty of
Yeah.
movement now to do so.
Yeah.
But you heal for 9.
Cool.
And you can still have a bonus action, so your bonus action could be second wind if you need to.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
It's fighter level, right? Plus D10?
Yeah, D10 plus fighter level.
Yeah, I have the wrong amount written down. I haven't changed that in a long time.
And then the recent adjustment to your class. Remember that the Shard of Padar allows you to cast Hexblade's Curse once a day.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have that as an option. That is an action though. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, that's it for me.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Varys is going to make another tail swipe at Varys. Your AC is still enhanced with shield, so...
Flip to 24.
24? 31, so...
Yep.
You just barely manage to summon the arcane energy to kind of reform the shield, and then it crashes through it once again. So 16 points of damage.
Yep.
At this point, blood is kind of trickling down your hand from where you hit the arcane imprint as it shattered, and it's not so much the physical damage, because you didn't take physical damage, it's the energy and strain it's putting on you at this point to try and hold up that shield against that tail swipe. So blood kind of begins dripping down your hand and down your arm. After Ithlin's turn is Alexia's turn.
Alright.
Is he on the ground? Is he on the ground?
Yes, right now.
Okay.
Is he still really close to all of us?
Yeah.
Because he's so big.
Yeah, comparatively. Yeah.
I'm gonna move through Tony. So 1, 2, 3.
And as you kind of hold one of the Dragon's Bane arrows in your hands, that lust and that desire to be fired at this creature is completely gone at this point. They just seem to be these large metal arrows.
Alright, well, I'm not going to use Dragon Bane arrows. Seems like a waste. Okay, so I'll do Slayer's Prey for my bonus action.
Okay.
And then... let's see... Is anyone technically within 10 feet of him? Or does he take up so much space it would only affect him anyway?
So, for the sake of easiness, consider your turns normally, so everything's 5 feet on the board. But then just imagine it kind of like zoomed out, you know? So, just take your turns normally, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
But just for the sake of ease, take your turns normally. So, for example,
You're worried about hitting me with
yeah,
Yep.
I'd say Varys is next to him right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll try a grasping arrow on him.
Oh, okay. If you're concerned about bursting arrow, though, he's so large that he takes up more than 10 feet by himself.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I was wondering. Okay.
well, while it does radiate from the creature in a 10-foot arc, he's big enough that Varys wouldn't be right next to him right now, but he is
Okay.
next to Varys. So.
Okay. So I'll do the bursting arrow.
Okay.
I like that one better.
Yeah. If you see, he's still like more than 10 feet away. So.
So as long as Varys is not physically on top of him,
Yeah.
the point of origin is
Yes.
there's enough mass around it.
So
I think this might be awkward next turn, but-
26.
You climbing on him next turn.
26 to hit.
26 will definitely.
Shadow
hit.
the Colossus.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
I'd love to see that, because I would do that shit.
The shadow of the clops of it.
Bow.
I was playing.
Someday I'll make a rogue and I'll do
does
things
type-
like that.
Damage type matter?
No. Because you don't have those two types. No?
Oh, DC 15 athletics.
Pass it.
Nope, sorry. Force. Nope, it's bursting.
Oh,
He
okay.
doesn't do a save. Never mind.
Okay.
Oh man, okay. 4, 12, 19, 27 damage.
Alright.
Nope, wait. 29 damage.
Okay.
You okay, Sarah?
Yep. I keep forgetting like all my extra like dice that I
It's
have to
okay.
do. Okay, so that's my first attack.
That was your first attack, yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
It's tough to find places to hit this point. She's mostly skeletal at this point. There's no organs, there's no scales. But you try and aim for the areas that still have some flesh attached to them, and you're able to hit one. And it seems to affect the creature as a whole.
Alright, I will try a grasping arrow this time to see if I can pin him down.
Okay.
20 to hit.
20 missiles, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll try it again.
You
Last
fire
time.
your arrow, and it goes right through his ribcage
Of course.
and straight out of his back, and just doesn't touch anything.
Alright, I'll try a grasping arrow again.
Okay.
Last attack. Oh, yeah. 31.
31 definitely hits.
Now he has the athletics save.
He makes it.
Oh, man. Terrible. 9, 10, 15, 20. 28 damage.
Okay.
And I'm done for my turn. Yep.
Okay. He'll use his last legendary action to continue beating bears with his tail. Until it's his turn, and he gets them all back. So your AC is 24 right now?
Yep.
That actually misses, but just barely. The tail slams into your arcane shield, and you have to use both hands to hold it up at this point, and you see the cracks beginning to form around it, the warm blood trickling down your hand into your armor. But the tail slams against it and does not pierce the barrier this time, and it retracts it.
Whereas begins to wonder why he's always the tank.
So that's the end of Alexia's turn.
Stand in front of things.
At the start of...
He came to me!
At the start of his turn, he is going to... I need all of you to make wisdom saving throws again.
Oh.
Ooh, I might have passed. 21?
I don't use a point of luck, because I could get better than that.
Okay.
Okay, 18. That wasn't fucking better than what I rolled previously.
9.
So 18 just barely fails, unfortunately. Varys is the only one who passes. So Alexia and Ethlyn, again, this creature kind of morphs and shapes in front of you. And it inspires such fear in your hearts. And you have these kind of black rings around your eyes. And all you know is this is the most terrifying creature you've ever seen. And you must get away at all costs. Varys, you are fine, however. He will then make 3 attacks against you. Wow. All 3 will miss. As he claws at you multiple times and tries to bite you, but you can't get through this arcane barrier you've held up at this point. As he gnashes against it, you see the cracks form, but you're able to repel the energy and kind of repair them as they happen. And so it claws and cracks, and you repair it, and he claws and cracks, and he full force mouth into it at this point. You see large cracks, it almost breaks, but you're able to repair it in time. And that's the end of his turn, which makes it Varys' turn.
I get in his face.
Okay.
And I'm not afraid of you. I killed you before and I'll do it again. And I will attack with my scimitar. 3 times.
Okay.
Alright. First 2. Oh god, that's not one. The other one is a 27.
Okay.
And a 23.
A 23 will just barely hit, and a 27 definitely hits. The natural one, however, as you make your first attack and you try and hit him with your sword, as you proclaim boldly here, you're not afraid of him. You walk up to him and try to slam your scimitar into his skeletal flesh at this point, and he opens his mouth and you just see like this rotting acidic nature just kind of forming there, and instead as you go to swing at it, you recoil back and kind of like, oh god.
And I'm also doing a defensive flourish on the first one, I guess. Alright. Does it care about cold damage at all?
No.
Okay. Oh baby. 10, 16. Alright, so the first one's 22. My AC goes up. And then the second attack is... 10 damage for the second attack.
Okay.
And
it creates a hollow sound as your sword cling cling against the thick bones of this creature.
don't worry, guys. I'll keep it busy while you guys hit it from the sidelines. You know, just doing bard things over here. And that will be my... actually, no. I can't do that. I just say that, and I'm done.
Oh.
I was going to Bardic Inspiration, but I forget that attacking is my offhand is a bonus, so I'm done.
At the end of your turn, I'll make a legendary action tail swipe at you.
I will use shield.
Okay. That puts your AC up to what right now?
31.
That is just enough to repel the attack.
Ooh.
We in tank mode now, boys.
So that's the end of your turn, though. It's when you are up.
So I have to move away?
Yes. So for one turn, there's no save at the end of it. Just kind of stops at the end of your turn, as opposed to a normal mind control effect. So for this turn right now, that is the most terrifying creature you've ever seen.
Oh, so...
Your heart's beating really fast, you're sweating profusely, and the only action you have is to move as far away from it as possible. So you cannot be within... you can't be within 60 feet of this creature in particular. So you must use your movement to get away from him within 60 feet.
Think you can do that with just your move?
Yeah.
You could run through Tony as you run away.
Is that a choice?
Yeah, you're in control. It's just
you have to move away.
it's as if your logical explanation inside your own brain was like, I have to get away from this thing. It's fucking terrifying. So you cannot be within 60 feet of it.
Okay.
You can still attack it though. You have disadvantage to attack it.
How much?
9.
9.
So if you like to cast a spell at it, you can.
Sure.
But you have disadvantage on the attack if it's an attack roll or a spell attack.
Yeah. I'll try and Firebolt then. It's kind of the only thing I can do.
How many third level spell slots do you have? How many third level spell slots do you have?
Oh, he's Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Oh, okay.
1 maybe?
Okay. I'm not
know.
sure. I thought you had at least 2, so.
Well, it's 1 or 2. It's not very many.
It's very low.
You're doing Firebolt. I keep hearing Fireball every time you say Firebolt.
Yeah, they sound too similar in my opinion. Whew. 11.
Yeah, unfortunately you fire and you're not even sure you're aiming now. As you fire off into the distance, it kind of.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
That's basically how useful I'm going to be for the rest of this fight.
At this point, though, at the end of your turn, the fear effect snaps away, and you're like, why was I even running? He will make an attack on Varus at the end of your turn. And just barely misses still. By 1.
Too close.
After that, Ithlin's turn ends and Luxia's turn starts.
Okay. And I'm feared, so I have to run away?
Yes, you cannot be within 60 feet of him.
I'll go through Tony. I'm just gonna safely go over here. I feel like that's probably 60 feet.
You healed for 11.
Oh, nice. Getting up there, guys. Magical 69. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, and I'm at disadvantage for...
Yes, every attack is with disadvantage.
And I'm literally in his face. Just so you know.
Yes.
That's okay. I don't have any more bursting arrows left. Let's see. I think he's not within 60 feet anymore. Alright. Just a regular attack.
Don't miss, unfortunately.
Oh, alright. Another attack. Ooh, 26 to hit.
26 will hit.
Alright. DC 14 con save.
He passes.
Okay. Let's see. So, 10, 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not for 1 turn. It's for 1 minute. So at the end of your turn, you get to make a wisdom save.
Oh.
You can make at the end of your turn. You can make a wisdom save. It's for 1 minute, not for 1 turn.
It's for the fear effect.
Oh.
Yeah. So go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
I literally can't pass it.
3.
So I have to roll a nat 20.
Well, yeah.
Well, there you go. Roll that 20.
Cool. Don't.
What's your?
I
Wisdom
have a
is
1.
plus-
Oh,
I
shit.
rolled an 18 last time and it didn't pass. I have to
Yeah.
roll a nat 20.
Or an 18, or
Yeah.
yeah, you need an 18 or a natural 20. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so keep going. Sorry.
17 damage.
17 will miss, unfortunately.
No, it's
18,
17
Oh.
damage.
20 will
Oh.
pass.
I already hit
I'm
him.
good.
Okay.
Now, let's see. No, can't do that. Another rest tech.
Okay.
Ooh, 26 to hit again.
That'll definitely hit.
Next campaign,
Eight,
I play
16
Paladin.
damage.
we will pass all our saves.
Let's just
16
both keep
Yes.
paladins.
Yeah, except
They don't
those effects
stack.
don't stack, unfortunately.
But we can both heal, and we can both have tower shields,
We can
and we
both
can
be,
just stand there and not do anything.
Oh, and then I'll do my wisdom save.
Just be like pacifists.
And the tower shields.
7.
Yes,
Like
you are
yours
still
is.
afraid, unfortunately.
They did exist. I don't know if they still do.
At the end of your turn, Alexia, he is bored of Varus, so he will instead flap his wings, and although there's not much give to them with the fleshy part of it, it's still a tremendous force he's flapping them at. So I need you to make a DC dexterity throw, Varus.
I see. I pass with a natural 20. And my
Nice.
total is 30.
Okay, I was gonna say like a natural 20 is impressive, but we're at the level now where those are not automatic successes, so a 30 will pass though.
Get your weak wings out of here.
Okay. So you manage to extend the huge flapping of its wings, however it does fly up into the air.
Do I get to make an attack of any sort as he tries to run away?
Let me look at it real quick. You might as a reaction. Also, yeah, you can make an attack of opportunity as he flies up into the air.
Alright, I have to double check something. Let's see if I can do this. Where is it? Okay, so I have the Warcaster feat, so I can cast a spell when I can take an opportunity attack. But I can only target the dragon, so I will cast Eldritch Blast as he
Okay.
flies away.
Sure.
Alright. I wasn't sure if that would work, but that's cool. Oh my god, okay, cool. Well, not 1, a 14, and a 22.
22 just barely hits.
I'm sad. 9 damage.
Hey, damage is damage. Okay.
I know.
Anything else?
Need to take another shot.
That's
No,
true.
that
But
was-
anything else?
That was just my opportunity attack.
Okay.
So whatever he does.
That was the end of Alexia's turn. So now it starts at his turn. Let's see if he gets his breath attack back. Which he does not.
Please be gentle.
So he will make another attack at you, so I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wait, me?
Yes. You're the only one in range, so.
Okay. 23.
That will pass. You are not feared by the creature, but he will make 3 attacks against you. G? Oh, where'd he go?
Probably. Oh,
Oh, okay.
it's a 3.
I'm not really calling too much. Okay. Oops. So 26, 28, and 28.
Get wrecked, son.
So first attack. $21.
Is your AC still 31?
Yeah, it is.
None of them hit.
Oh no, that's it. Never mind.
It hasn't been my turn yet.
Fair enough. Alright. Never mind then. All those will miss. He'll do that, and then he will discourage fly over the Ithlin.
As he misses and like flies away, I'm just like move my hair out of my face.
Okay, that's the end of his turn. Varys, you're up.
This part stuff. Okay, now my AC goes back down to
Gotcha.
to just a 19. How dare you fly away from me, motherfucker? I am going to cast Hex, which will cause Tony to dispel.
No.
Okay.
Sorry,
I
guys.
can't run towards him.
And I will choose all of his strength skill checks to be at disadvantage.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's just skill checks, not saving throws.
Yeah.
And then I will move. And I will aim right at his butt. And I will Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Are you serious?
That's
natty.
3 nat 1s in a row.
Dude, you're getting wrecked with them.
This is 17 and 16. So this...
Those will both miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
A natural one definitely misses.
I'll pass my turn taking another shot.
Alright, so at the end of your turn, he's going to make a tail attack at Ithlin.
Shield.
I'm going to have to nap before
26
working out.
AC.
Okay.
Ooh. Doing my trick.
What?
The shield trick.
Yeah.
That is exactly 26. That will hit, unfortunately.
That's okay, dude. Eventually you'll miss.
Yeah.
No, it was good. That was almost
He hit me the one time,
13.
and then he missed
So
every
21
time.
points of damage. And that is the end of Varys' turn. And then
Going
it's
to
your
wait
turn.
to drink my shot until someone else rolls a natural one.
I'll take it with you. Yeah.
So that they can take it with me.
My turn?
Yes, it's now your turn.
So I have to move away
Yes.
before I do anything, right?
Yes. This means you'll get an attack of opportunity, unfortunately.
Oh, what a
Yeah.
jerk.
Yes. And he definitely hits you. So the only thing within range of him is his tail as he's up in the air currently. Smacks you with his tail as you go to run away, and you will take 13 points of damage. And that's it though for his attack of opportunity. And so yeah.
Firebolt, I guess. It's the one thing you can do.
Okay.
Do you still have haste on?
Yes. So
Yeah.
you get your hasted action as
Yeah,
well.
I get a second attempt to hit him.
Thanks.
So, ooh, double nat ones.
Well, I know who's drinking with Michael now. Fuck.
Give me that fucking whiskey.
That's insane.
Oh,
Should I go get the double shot glass? Fuck.
Man,
That happened.
That's insane.
that's I'm destined to not do any damage this entire fight.
Double natty ones.
Alright.
The legend.
Cheers.
To being shitty.
Yep.
Okay, so that's your first action though. I mean,
Alright.
with your hasted action, you can cast another spell, and that can be a cantrip or a full spell. The rule for spellcasters in general is if you cast one spell, it's gotta be a cantrip, but you already cast a cantrip, so it can be another cantrip or a full spell if you want.
Yeah. I'll just use Firebolt.
I think you have like first and second level spell slots, so.
Yeah. My second level damage spell would not be useful. I don't want to use that one.
Which one are you using?
Firebolt.
Okay, smooth turn.
Still low. No, I'm still only 13. So.
Alright. So let's say for your firebolt, you gotta fire it out of your finger, and you kind of hold it, and you take the stance, and it literally explodes in your face before it even fires anywhere. The fear is just too much for you to concentrate on that spell. And you just kind of fire, and point blank in front of you. You will take 1 point of fire damage for that. And then you try and fire again, and it wide arcs away from the dragon itself. At the end of your turn, there's not any legendary actions you can use, so it will do nothing. Lexia, you're up.
I can't even see you guys anymore. There's this tower of alcohol on the way.
Alright.
I'll take another one with you since you got 2 natural ones. I'll do one with you. That's shitty luck.
Had I known this, we could have all 3 taken one.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna cast.
Just wait
Nope,
till my turn.
that's
I'll get another one, I know it.
Sorry, what?
Since he's on the move, I'm just gonna use my action to cast Armor of Agathis. And then I'm done.
You already used it. The bow lets
It's
you do
per
it
combat.
once per combat. Yeah, you're still in the same combat.
This is technically a different creature.
It's a different creature, but same combat.
Combat never ended.
Fine.
Yes.
Alright, fine, I'll just shoot at him.
Okay.
So does it mean I still have my 15 temp hit points?
Have you not been hit yet?
I don't know.
That's
Oh.
really cool.
I don't think she has.
No,
Do you have
I've
not
been
hit? You still
gaining
have
hit
it.
points.
it's been me and Islam that have been targeted. Badly.
20 to hit.
She has
20
like no
misses,
HP, so
unfortunately.
it's probably for the
Okay.
best.
Second attack.
Okay, dude.
Another 20 misses. Another attack. Even worse. I missed every single one.
Fire 3 arrows, and they hit through the ragged, tattered remains of its wings, or it hits through its bone anatomy, but does not hit it actually. You're trying to aim for a vital spot where you normally hit a creature, but does not have any of those vital spots right now, and so between the fear and this, you're just a little shaken. At the end of your turn, though, did you make your wisdom save at the end of your turn?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys get wisdom saves at the end of your turn.
Nope.
Mm.
Failed.
Okay.
Just roll super high, dude.
Yeah, jeez.
So that is the end of Alexia's turn. It still can't use a legendary action, so it just goes to its turn, and let's see if it gets its breath attack back, which it does not. Every single breath attack recharge has been a 1. So it will fly over to Alexia though.
No. Shield.
Shield.
Just grab Headland.
Gotta try it until it works.
And
Someday it'll work.
make 3 attacks on you.
Dodge. Duck. Duck.
So that is a 17, a 27, and a 32.
17 misses. Everything else hits though.
So its big attack misses you, which is good to know. You still take 15 points of damage, and then another 16 points of damage. So a total of 31 damage. It does take 15 damage from you though. Twice. Or I think, is it once per combat? Or once per hit? Or?
It's every time it hits her while she still has the temporary hit points.
Okay, so just once then. So?
Okay, Devona. I got the damage. What?
So your armor bag at these hit points goes away first.
Yes.
And so with the first attack, it hits you with its claws. It tries to bite at you first of all, and you narrowly jump to the side.
Was that a melee?
They'll get to that, don't worry.
It takes 15.
I know. I already said that.
Okay.
So as it goes to bite at you, first of all,
Yeah.
whether it be the fear or the adrenaline going on right now, you duck to the side at the nick of time and dodge the attack. It claws at you then at that point, cutting off your escape, and it hits you, kind of bats you back into where you were. The ice kind of explodes off your chest at that point, hits it, and you see these ice shards in its skeletal claw. In protest, however, it takes its other claw and just slaps you again.
Okay.
But you definitely saw the ice take effect.
Alright, got him.
And that's his turn, so Varys, it's your turn.
Where do you think you're going? And I will Eldritch Blast again.
Okay.
Alright. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm pretty sure 16 misses, but then the other two are 24 and 26 to hit.
Does still hit?
Cool. Alright, so we got 7 plus 6, so 13, and 5 plus 6, and 11, so 24 force damage.
How much?
24.
Oh wait.
Nope.
So that was a 1 and a 4? Yeah. I think Hex actually does necrotic damage.
It does.
So yeah, then it does it care about necrotic damage?
You see the necrotic energy doesn't seem to take effect.
Oh, okay. So then it would just be, yeah, so then minus 5 from whatever I just said.
So 19?
Yeah. Perhaps not the best use of this spell. And then I will... Ethan, I've never seen you move. Wait. 5, 10, 15. Oh, never mind. Oh, you're both too far away. No. Why do you do this to me?
Well, I don't have control over it currently, so...
Yeah.
Did you make your saving throw thing?
Yes, why do you do this to me?
Yeah.
And I guess I'm done after that then.
Okay.
I'm lucky.
At the end of your turn, he's going to make a tail swipe at Alexia.
Oh no.
Will definitely hit you. Holy shit, max damage.
Oof.
So 24 damage.
Are you dead?
No. It wasn't even half of what I have left. Nope.
That is the end of Varys' turn, though. So Ithlin, you're up.
Is that Tony healing now?
Is it 24?
He'll be back at some point.
24.
24, yes.
I'm all the way over there now. Alright, let's try and fire bolt.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not actually hit him this time. Let's see, 24.
24 will hit.
Oh, baby.
Nice, dude.
I rolled 2 15s.
Nice.
Alright.
Um,
6 damage.
6, really?
Yeah, I rolled min on 2 of them.
Wow. Alright, he's still up.
You
see the- You see the fire just kind of splatter against him and not really spread at that point.
Yeah, let's try it again.
Okay.
And then hit him a second time. Probably not. 17.
17 will miss, unfortunately.
Nope.
Anything else? Do you have action surge left? Like,
no, I'm not even gonna.
okay.
I'm not contributing to this fight. It's okay.
Alright, so he'll try and tailswipe Alexi again at the end of your turn.
That's not true. You did.
Wait, what?
He's gonna try and tailswipe.
How much damage have I
No.
done this entire time? Like 30?
So 20 points of damage.
Hey man, that contributed to killing him the first
Are you
time.
dead?
Oh, that's true. I've done.
Every little bit of
6.
damage counts, man.
Really
So
close.
this one.
Okay, so that's the end of Itlin's turn. It's now your turn.
Any damage is better than no
I
damage.
suppose I'll roll again. See if I.
Oh yeah, see if you're afraid anymore.
Oh, still afraid.
Man.
So the first thing I have to do is get away from him.
Which then he gets nailed. Alright guys, I'm gonna die. I'm about to die. I can't do anything without moving first, huh? Okay.
Cannot be within 60 feet of him.
This booze is in my way. Ah!
How
I took him
dare
out.
you.
Took him out.
So as you move away, he swipes down with his claw at you. And it's definitely gonna hit you.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Are you?
I guess we'll find out.
14 damage.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Are you really?
Yeah, I only had 9 left.
Ooh.
Don't forget, dude, her hit points like half.
No, I know, but. Geez.
So then you're just right next to him. Then you don't make it all the way over there.
Yeah, he died.
Where were you when you started? Like there?
Over there, yeah.
So at that point, you feel its claws sink into your back, and the straps with your armor holding it together kind of shatter and break, and leaves this huge claw across your back, tearing into your underclothes.
Well, I'm gonna have a
And
nice scar after this, boys.
You fall over.
You went down exactly in range.
Are you gonna revive me?
I am.
Oh,
So
thank
that
God.
will be your
And
turn.
do bard stuff.
At what point do I get to use hit dice? Like if we're in the middle of combat, I can't
You
do
get
it
to do it
unless
during
it's a
short rest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There's only
Um,
one thing that lets you
yeah.
do that, and you have to be a dwarf for it.
So,
All right. Well, I'm like -5.
yes. So as you're laying there before him on his turn, he extends his kind of pointer claw and just impales you with it,
Oh God!
and you take 2 death saving throws.
What? Okay. I'm like almost permadead, guys.
I know.
Oh.
You did this on purpose.
And that is the end of his turn. He will move over to Ithlin, however, if he has move in front of him for me. And that's the end of his turn. So Varys, you're up.
Alexia! I've never told you this, but you've got the best ass out of all of the women I've ever met. And that's my healing word to you.
And with that, I'm so inspired to stand up.
Oh, it's max for 10 points.
Okay. You're brought back up to 1 hit point.
Oh man. Boop.
Oh my, apparently she needed the compliment. Anyways, I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Question mark.
I now
Eldritch
have
Blast?
like
Question mark?
one of 2 thoughts in my head. Like she either has a completely mediocre ass or like the thickest ass in all the land.
It's supposed to depend
How
what
dare
Varys
you
is
say I'm
into.
mediocre?
I know.
You'll have to ask Varys about this after the combat if you survive.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Ithlin said that he doesn't care about the half-breeds, so he just doesn't look.
I know. That's why I'm wondering about it. Like, oh my.
Have I been missing out?
This is the forbidden knowledge you must know about.
Yeah.
I'm not...
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Alright, well, all 3. We'll just do all 3 together.
20 and
Fill me up,
25.
lads. So, sorry, 20, natural 1, and 25?
Yeah.
The 25 will hit.
Another nat 1.
And the necrotic damage just doesn't matter.
Bring
Yes.
him down.
Okay. Oh!
Oh.
Nice.
It's less than 1, it's a 0. 16 force damage.
How would you like to end this?
Yes.
Wow, really?
What?
So after
I almost survived the entire fight.
after I proclaim that
Oh,
Alexia
man.
has the best booty,
The
in
choicest
land.
goods.
You
Yep.
prematurely Eldritch Blast as you roll a natural one and fire into the ground next to you.
Yeah, I prematurely Eldritch Blast, and then the other one misses the intended target. But I just kind of like want to like blow off his like bottom
Avenge
jaw.
me, Varys.
Okay. So, Ithlin, the Dracolich comes towards you, mouth open, and even its skeletal form, still razor sharp teeth that'll tear you apart in an instant. And as it goes and dives at you from the air, you kind of brace yourself for impact and cross your swords, and you feel the energy kind of soar past you. And as it comes and kind of like crashes into the ground around you, it's just its skeletal bone remains, not in a dragon form at all, just kind of scattered around. And then the jaw kind of rolls over to you, Varys, at your feet.
Whew. Just flop on my back.
Just for visual.
It's so hard carrying the both of you.
What?
Just kidding.
I mean, you did take like most of the day.
I did. I took most of the aggro.
In a matter of moments, the bones do begin to turn to ash and they're gone.
Okay, I was about to be like, if they come back together, you're real upset.
Nope. But,
I'm just gonna lay here and take a nice long rest.
yeah.
That's the biggest travesty of all of this, is that I don't get to harvest anything off of him.
Yeah.
What if you have like undead dragon dust?
I do the
That
thing where
doesn't
you
You can't
like.
collect the dust.
I mean, just in defiance, I go and
Oh.
scoop some dust into a little pouch, but...
Okay, you have a pouch of dragon dust. I say we'll take a victory. I mean, I
Pouch of dragon dust.
I can do that.
I'm just gonna take my one from
Is
being
that
a
like
scrub.
drugs? Is that like angel
Fill them
dust?
up for everyone. And
But
I'll
just
really.
really...
It could be.
Rub it on your gums and walk away.
Oof, I kind of want to find out. It'll be like that cactus, but even better.
Oh no. Oh, you tripped it all over me.
I'm sorry.
But the question is, do we have to go through water again to the point where the dragon dust is just going to get wet and useless anyway?
Let's not speak about that. I don't want to think about the bottom of the ocean anymore.
I'm not sure. I was really hoping we would level up so I could just teleport. But did you want one as well?
I might as well.
His double,
I did roll
his
the
double
legendary
nat
double nat ones.
Did you ever take that other one?
I didn't
He did
take
the
the
first
second
one.
one, just the
Let's
first
see.
one.
This is the second one. Well, at least I didn't roll a bunch of nat ones this time like I did last week. A couple weeks ago.
Being feared for me is really shitty because I can't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
I had something to get rid of it, but you guys were like running away.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
You
whole
had to.
point.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was rough.
You had one saving throw till you were like dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Yeah, he took 2 of my 3.
Wow. That's pretty
I
close.
almost survived the entire thing with like 50.
Yeah, that's what
The
happens.
highest I got was the 69, and then I had the 1510.
That's what happens when not only are you unconscious and something attacks you again, but also when creatures are smart enough to realize you're not dead yet and decide they have to finish you off.
Yep.
It's just like, how does this fail?
So,
Sure.
you guys are definitely in a much dangerous place for dying at this point.
Yep.
I'm curious though, does the obsidian area start like collapsing?
I will describe that in a second.
Because I'd really like to rest for a little bit.
Well, just don't be
But
anywhere
I-
near where that hole is.
My vision is blurry, okay? There's blood all over my face and in my eyes. I have a hole in my body.
Your armor is completely destroyed.
No! Like the last thing I had of my mom.
Yeah.
God. Bitches.
It wasn't magical, unfortunately, and yeah.
I wish his body did stay here, because then I'd go stomp on it.
I don't know, who knows? Maybe we'll find something cool in here.
Maybe. Because I need new armor, apparently. Oh, that sucks. That's really upsetting. I liked my black and blue elven scale mail.
I know.
It was my mom's!
I know.
My copper bracers are magical, though.
Thanks, dude.
That's true.
That's all I have left. I'm just naked with some copper bracers. Because, my clothing's all ripped to shreds now.
Oh my.
Don't give any funny ideas, Ferris.
I have ideas.
I still have
they're
my
just
cloak.
not funny.
It's just really wet right now.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else to cover up.
I would say that in your current state, you feel
I don't even care.
like you've been stabbed before. And even though you can't see it because the magic Ferris cast did heal it almost instantaneously.
Oh, so I don't have a giant hole in my body?
There's not a giant hole in your body, but you definitely feel like there's a giant hole in your body.
Is there a giant scar?
There's absolutely a giant scar. So it starts
I'm
at
so attractive, guys.
So it starts at your lower back. There's a giant circular scar there, and it also is mirrored in your torso, right below your chest.
What about like the claw marks?
And then the claw marks are also across your back. Yes.
Oh man, I'm just one walking scar at this point.
Yes.
Oh, it's gross.
I just realized, do I look like Deadpool?
What?
Like when he has his clothes off, where he's just totally gross from all the things that happened to me in the Underdark.
Kind of,
Because of your
yeah.
ugly skin.
Yeah, did the acid do anything to
Like
us?
two avocados having sex.
No, luckily for you,
Was it two avocados? I don't
it
know.
wasn't.
That's what he said.
Pretty much in 5th edition with
One
damage
with an
like
older
that.
avocado.
Had it killed you, yes, there'd be. You actually would disintegrated had it killed you.
Okay.
But you're pretty much okay.
Alrighty, I do the thing where you kick off from the ground and land
Oh, I
back
think
on
my
your
Google
feet.
was trying to be activated. Okay.
It was.
Okay. Fuck off, man. I don't need Google right now.
Don't say your name.
Alrighty, everyone. To nat ones and whatever the fuck this
Yeah,
dragon's name
some
was.
sort of victory.
Yeah.
To the third dragon,
Xan
guys.
Finnet has
Accurate.
The third dragon.
3/4 of the way there. That's exactly 69%.
Yeah.
And I look around alright, Lawless, where are you? Fuck you, buddy!
We might need a napkin.
How long do you wait?
What?
How long do you wait?
Does it immediately?
Almost immediately.
Okay.
Just start
Okay. So while Varys kind of tends to Alexia's wounds, and your body is... You have not felt this much of a beating since you jumped into that hole and hit concrete like water. And so...
Classic Alexia.
and so, that being said, much like that time, you currently have 3 points of exhaustion.
I remember this. But Varys doesn't remember.
Yeah. You currently have 3 points of exhaustion, which means that for you right now, and you have to get a full rest to get rid of 1 point of exhaustion. So currently you have disadvantage on ability checks. Your speed is halved.
Wait.
It's gonna be rough.
Okay, disadvantage ability check.
Your speed is halved.
Half speed.
And you have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Oh, dicks.
Your whole body is like a bruise right now.
Okay.
Can you imagine being so exhausted you can only move 15 feet?
Alexia can.
Every 6 seconds.
I'm not moving at all.
I've never been that tired, ever.
But yeah, I'd say of the Underdark, you and Alexia, the scars Alexia just got kind of trumped those. It kind of tore through scar tissue and made new scar tissue with the wound she has now. But yeah, Varys obeyed in the Underdark, so you have probably the worst,
Oh yeah, no, I told him to eat a dick the entire time.
Yeah.
I don't think I obeyed the whole time.
Towards
I think
the-
I started out kind of strong and then I started killing people.
Yeah. At this point, though, the scars you just received trump the other scars you have.
Didn't even see them anymore. It's just
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so gross.
Does anyone else know you killed a bunch of gnomes?
Oh, and I'm like
I didn't
53
talk
years
about it.
old. This is
Yeah, I technically don't
No,
know
that's just
that,
bad.
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
I think I was asked and I was just like, so who wants a round of drinks?
Can you get a napkin?
Because we could totally like Eiffel Tower over it.
Oh man. Well, I'm not gonna be moving for a while, guys.
Yep.
No.
So we had to take me with you.
If you want to get to your feet, you'll need Varys' help or someone's help because you barely have enough strength to lift your head.
Yeah, so although I'm not the most physically well-off character, I attempt to pick her up like a knight would pick up a princess.
Make a strength check.
Am I actually naked? Because he like tore apart my clothes.
Pretty much, yeah.
God damn it. Okay.
Oh,
He feels-
2.
Well,
You
5.
You do that thing in comedies
Oh,
where you
man.
kneel down. You're just like.
Oh.
How do you play it off so you can keep your masculinity?
Oh god. You know, I'm just so tired from casting all those spells.
It's like,
And nearly
that
dying
sound
on the
is weighing
ship.
you down.
Do I believe you?
Good. Make a deception insight there. So you do insight, F1.
Alright, and
Perception?
where's the insight? I'm probably gonna fail.
Probably.
It's
no, I
wisdom.
don't know. Maybe.
19 to deception.
Oh, man, you beat me by 2.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Varys is just too
Son
exhausted.
of a bitch. I believe
You
him.
know, I wish I had the strength to lift you, but here, and I like
You just hold
Take-
me up.
I like do the thing where I put like one of your arms over my arm, and I like have my arm over your back, and I start
cut the
walking
field.
you.
We'll say for the sake of your
It
dignity, while most of your armor is destroyed and your underclothes is destroyed, there's just enough there to hide the goods.
Oh no.
But there's some serious underboob going on.
Yep. Classic anime.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, it seems like we need to get you some new equipment. So in the meantime,
Oh, we
I
need to
begin-
somebody loot the room.
We'll do that.
And so while you guys do that, Iflin kind of screams to the heavens at Lawless, and you wait.
Yeah.
5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes
Maybe the first
pass,
dragon he doesn't
20
show
minutes
up for.
pass, and nothing happens.
He's just like, this
In the
isn't a real
meantime, while
dragon
he's
anymore.
doing this, can I do my Tony stuff to heal us all?
Sure.
Alright. Well, I just remember that I have this, but I used the Rod of Absorption to cast Tony at 5th level.
You remember this now?
How many charges left on the road?
18. And it has absorbed 23 out of 50.
Yep.
Alright. So, I'm just gonna start rolling dice.
So what happens if I hit my max HP? I'm still just like useless.
You still have 3 points of exhaustion.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with HP.
Your body, you died. You literally died.
Yeah, you just need to like, literally just
Not do
rest
anything.
and not do anything.
It's like World of Warcraft Resurrection.
Sounds
Resurrection.
nice.
Basically, the
sickness.
only thing you have to
Yeah.
do is sit in bed while me and Iflin sit there and feed you
Am I gonna go
grapes.
find where I died?
I will do nothing of the sort.
It's up to me then. Alright, so everyone gets... I'm just gonna start writing this shit down somewhere. Okay, so 4, 9, 12, 13 for the first one. Oh geez, 5, 8, 10, 15 for the second one. 10, 13, 16 for the third one. Let me know when you guys are full.
I need 90. So
Oh my god. Well, so far we've done 44.
Well, I'll be full HP by the time
Wow, that
it
was a
happens.
good one.
So,
12, 15, 20.
cool. I'm full. And stop paying attention.
10, 16, 19. So that's 35, 55, 70, 83.
and I'm full.
12, 16, 18.
As much
So yeah,
as
that's,
I can.
that's like 91 ready.
Whilst Ithlin screams to the heavens.
Tony OP.
Visually, can we see any loot?
Help me with this,
Like a
Alexia.
treasure? What?
I start taking my armor off.
Why?
Help me.
So,
Oh!
Help take this off, please.
I'm not gonna hang out with a bunch of naked people. Sounds gross.
you were naked for a while too.
You want
Hey.
clothing or not?
Yeah,
I'm
but that was my
covered.
choice.
You're welcome for the underboob. You're welcome.
I'm indifferent to the underwear.
Distracting.
so
I need to be focused.
And the best ass in all the land.
apparently, that's yet to be determined because I don't yet know if he's into mediocre asses.
How dare you say anything about me as mediocre?
Honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're just well endowed or if it's just, living out in the wild for so long, all the
It's just-
exercise you do.
He's just never seen any
Uh,
thick ladies before.
Is
Is
this
that what's
great?
going on?
I mean, most of the women he knew were in Fall Guard, and they're not the prettiest. So
Oof.
I'm at least a couple
think of like your like,
notches up.
think of like your most stereotypical like Victorian whore. That's what the women in Fall Guard look like.
That walking
Oh.
around
Just
at
like
brothels.
makeup caked on and like.
Alright, I'll help you take. Just get my cloak. I reach in to my bag of holding and think of
You
my
know those
cloak.
girls in Pirates of the Caribbean that like all slap Jack Sparrow?
I'm kind of
Yeah.
into that a little bit though.
They all look like that.
Oh,
though.
jeez, Jordan.
Does that mean that like I agree with?
Are we saying
Yeah.
Jordan?
It
or
means you
is
probably
Jordan
like
a
Fall Guard
brothel?
women at least.
Oh, if
Well.
I wasn't so stuck up, I could hang out in Fall Guard a little bit.
Well.
It means she's definitely above average.
I like to grab my rock cloak out and try to put it on.
You can put it on, you just can't attune to it. You need an hour for that. You have to take a short rest, technically.
I just need something.
So,
to
the
feel
description of this
totally
room, I'll give it
naked.
to you guys again as well. So, when it comes to loot, this room is not covered wall to wall in gold or statues or art or anything like that. As Dunveridus mentioned, he's not into material things.
We're in a room.
Kind of. Like, you're in
We're in
That's
Oh,
described.
yeah, we're in like a
obsidian
room.
space.
This is as close to a room as we've gotten.
Oh, okay.
There's
fair
no
enough.
like walls, but
Um,
it's
Yeah.
a place.
what kind of litters this area is very, very old bookcases, very, very old alchemical equipment,
Oh, sounds like Iflin's done.
I'm all about this shit.
those of which have been clearly
Iflin's dragon.
time does pass in this space as the books have been rotted
Ooh.
and are unintelligible, cannot be read. The glass beakers are shattered or have cracks in them. There's dust everywhere. Time clearly passes in this zone, but you can tell that this is what he's done for however long it's been, just experiments and research. And however, what you guys do find from searching the room, and this is really fucking stupid. I can't believe I rolled this.
Alright, I will write everything down
So,
and then we'll
Please be a
figure
singing
out
and dancing
what
sword.
to do with
No.
them.
So, you guys find a total of 6,000 gold pieces,
Okay, wait.
Hey.
Black.
much less compared to the other dragon torch.
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
like
see.
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay,
100,
What kind of
6,000?
gold,
100,
Kinda.
6,000.
6,000 gold.
Yes, 117 platinum.
117.
though? Over 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
You guys find two somewhat large purple velvet bags you recognize as bag of holdings.
I don't have one of those.
Now we each can
Yeah,
have
now
one.
you each get one.
Yeah.
As I rolled a 65 and a 69 on the treasure chart and got two bag of holdings.
That's pretty funny.
Somewhat
Yeah.
large, though. Somewhat large.
Yeah, so two bag of holdings.
Yep.
10 arrows that have kind of a gleam to them.
Oh, those are mine.
Does that. What? Right. Okay.
He's tired of messing with magic, needs a
A
better
potion.
I know, right?
A potion
I'm
you
gonna have
recognize as
disadvantage.
a
What am I
potion of
supposed to do?
supreme healing.
Supreme or superior?
Supreme.
Supreme. Okay.
And then something that Ethelyn may find of interest.
Oh
Oh.
my.
Oh.
It is a 20.
Volume 2 of goat breeding?
It is a 20 or so page book. And what language does everyone speak?
I speak every
I know
language.
You can comprehend every language.
Yes.
Common, Elvish, Orcish, and that's it.
Common, Elvish, Gnomish, Dwarvish, and Drow.
Why do you speak Gnomish?
I just do.
So it all sounds like gibberish to you too.
Okay.
But when shown to Ithlin, it is written completely in Abyssal.
Oh shit. Got some real stuff here.
Of course he'd be interested in it. The Bissell, the demon language.
That's what I'm all about.
So this is called a Tome of the Nine Hells, which you may write down.
Oh my, I'm gonna write that down.
Okay. I
You know, like
assume
summon a
Ithlin is instantly taking
Fucking
that.
Baylor, and we're gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do way worse than that.
Or open a portal
So what is it?
and not know how to close it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tome of the Nine Hells. So, the last item that you find is somewhat decoratively placed and covered in dust.
Armor.
Shush. Somewhat decoratively placed among, at this point, well rusted and destroyed pieces of armor and shields and things like that. Things that are obviously kind of like artistic pieces that age has definitely destroyed. You find 2 scimitars.
Oh.
Oh.
Of course.
And the hilt of these scimitars, so the crossguard area is just, it looks like an eye. It is this red ruby with a slit down the middle, and it looks like an eye. And then, as you hold them together, each one also, there's nothing on the left side of it, but on the right side, there's kind of a demonic looking wing kind of protruding from the side of it.
Oh.
So when you hold them forward, the wings go forward. The blades are black.
Alright.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Damn it, no armor. I'm so naked right now.
So anyways, I finished shaking my armor off.
I'll be a bro, and I'll give you my cloak that I forget to activate all the
I have
time.
my cloak on. It's okay.
She has a cloak.
But isn't it like shredded?
No, it was in my bag of holding.
Take
I just
this.
Oh. Well, you're just choosing not to cover yourself.
I have a cloak on.
Well, you
That's
should
the best I can do.
have it about yourself.
Cover up your half health.
I'm 3 points exhausted, okay? I ain't doing shit.
I'll give you a second cloak for the front.
I just have like giant bibs hanging on both sides of me, just like, alright.
Technically, it's fine.
Giant ones? Tahonka-donkers?
I am offering this to you on the...
On your shirt that
No,
you
my-
always forget everywhere.
No, my armor.
You
I
don't
have a
own
shirt
a
on
shirt.
I don't need your armor. We're
Yes,
not in
you
combat
do.
anymore.
How long
It
is
doesn't
I
it?
can't
matter that
even-
we're not in combat.
Okay, what kind of armor do you have?
It's medium armor. And you get to add 3 of your dexterity to it. So my armor class was 19, so yours should also be 19 when you use it. But right now, you're in a vulnerable state.
Do I need any sort
Like
of
it or
like
not.
special strength to wear it?
No.
Oh, okay.
You just have to attune to
It
it.
is
It's a special
the
thing.
it is the kind of like
I can't
oriental
anything right
demonic looking armor Varus wears, where the
Oh,
gauntlets.
you're a weeb? I didn't
It's
know
I
you
have
were
been
a
a weeb for
weeb.
this whole time.
You're a weeb.
the gauntlets
I didn't
have
know.
claws that kind of come out when you can make them come out like Wolverine pretty much. The gauntlets have those in them.
Is that just
cool.
is that the
You didn't know
like
that
a
this whole time
special
we were traveling
ability
with
or
Genji.
just something that I can
It's something you can do
Gross.
as a free action. It's like equipping a weapon, but you can do unarmed attack with them and get.
I completely forgot about that
Well,
feature. I
you
should write
have-
that down.
do? You have to
You
help me
probably
get
should.
into the armor. 'cause I have
As
limited
well, so the
movement.
armor itself is this kind of red, just medium armor. The special features of it, like I said, the gauntlets are kind of thicker and they have those claws on them. As well as the hood, when you pull it up, it's got kind of these horns that kind of
Oh,
spread across.
you
Not
need
not
to
sticking
wear-
up straight away, but just something kind of subtle. And then it's got fur that kind of lines the back of it.
You need to wear this armor because you're in a vulnerable state right
Well,
now.
you
Like it
put
or
the
not.
armor on me.
It also has the magical ability to assume the appearance of another humanoid.
Ooh.
I have my bardic experience to help me dodge attacks and magic.
Alright, I give Iflin back his cloak and I wear the armor and my flying cloak.
I was gonna give you my overpowered cloak, but it's too late now, and I take it back.
Yeah, I didn't want you.
See it? Just shirtless Vera standing there.
How long has it been since you've owned a shirt, Iris?
I know, right?
A few months now, I think. It's really.
You have all that.
I just feel free, you know.
You apparently have unlimited wealth and can't
Does that cause
come
chafing?
across a
If
shirt.
you're wearing armor with
Oh, it absolutely
no, like,
causes
It would be
Yeah,
really
like, I don't have
horrible.
nipples anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so what, is anything happening to the obsidian, like, to the space that we're in?
No, not right now.
Alright.
Not until you tell me you want to move on.
Oh. Well, we got all the loot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm clothed and good to go. Someone just has to help
Let me
me
see
walk
those
around.
scimitars over there. I
I'll
happen
just
to be
be
an
real
expert
slow.
at this sort of thing.
Alright, so you want the scimitars?
Yeah.
You want both?
Yeah.
The scabbards they're currently encased in this is pitch black leather. It looks kind of scaly, actually.
Scaly, you say?
Mm-hmm. Like black
I'll
leather
take the
scale.
10 arrows. That'll be in my.
They are +1 arrows. You can know that
I wanna
without tuning to
hold-
them. So
Just one of the scimitars. Just kind of get a feel for it. And then once I'm done doing that, I want to hold the other one and see if I feel a difference.
the
Like maybe they were meant to be wielded together.
So holding one scimitar, you do kind of feel a longing. You keep kind of glancing at the other scimitar and why not, right? Like why shouldn't I grab it, kind of thing.
Ooh.
You're cursed.
It like makes you want to have both.
And then finally you grab the other one, and as you kind of wield both of them, you realize when you put them together, like they kind of have this demonic looking eye, side by side, as well as wings spreading out from both of them as the blades come across. But you hold them in your hand, and you just feel this intense kind of hunger from the blade.
You have to feed it.
Can I make like an Arcana check or something to see if I can tell what it wants?
Sure, I'll let you do it with disadvantage.
Of course. Incoming another Sawyer in the Sword moment.
Well, as this is an artifact you have never had any experience with, yes, it'll be disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay. That is a 6.
Does 19 get me anything?
You have to wield them to make an Arcana check.
Oh, dang it.
So no.
I could tell you.
You just look at them and you're like, those are pretty magical.
Like, oh, those are cursed.
And so we each have a bag of holding now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Do you want to split the gold and
Cannot
platinum
believe I
that we
rolled
just
that.
found?
I cannot believe I rolled that.
Sure.
I was like, you fucking
Alright, so
serious?
each of us gets 2,000 gold.
While I was prepping for this session earlier, Sarah's like, did you just decide you're going to kill us? And I was like, no, I'm rolling loot right now.
Do you remember how much gold and platinum were?
It's like 5 or 10 pieces of gold is like a pound or something like that.
Okay, so we each get...
Search that written down here.
I do.
Yeah.
So we each get 2,000 gold and 39 platinum. So, are you asking about weight or what are we asking? Okay, so 50 gold pieces is a pound.
Okay.
50 is a pound.
Yeah, so if you have,
2,000, so that's...
you got
80
40
pounds.
pounds.
Oh, 40 pounds.
40 pounds.
That's almost the same.
Platinum is 25 a pound, so if you have 39,
As they are kind of larger,
you'd
thicker
have
coins.
roughly 1.5 pounds platinum. Otherwise, that is all evenly split.
I abused my bag of holding.
Okay.
I'll take the arrows.
I assumed everyone would, and that's why I was like, are you fucking serious? 2 of them?
Does anyone want the potion
I
of
don't know
supreme
how I would
healing?
abuse a bag of holding.
No.
Alright, I'll hold on to
Huh?
it then.
So I don't know how I would abuse a bag of holding.
I do stupid shit, like I put exactly 5 coins in it at first, and I just like empty it, and then like put it back in and empty it, and put it back in and empty it, and I just like do this.
You could do that with a regular bag.
Yeah, but... Okay, fine, I do it with a scimitar.
That's better.
Which scimitar?
My scimitar. I'm gonna see what these do.
Okay.
I put my scimitar in the bag of holding, the one that is always on me, and then my pack weapon is elsewhere.
Okay.
And then
Alright.
I put the other 2 scimitars,
Alright, Jen.
and then I kept it Morgan.
So the interesting thing about them is you equip them. and you put them away, and you kind of admire yourself, like, just looking down. There's no mirror in front of you, but kind of look down, and you're like, really good on me. Like, I like these a lot. And as you're kind of standing there, Captain Morganine, without even thinking about it, it's almost like you're missing, like, an element of time, because you had them away, but now they're in your hands, and you're pulling them out.
Ooh, they want to be out. They're hungry for them. Thank you from the dead.
Wow, I'm tired. I put them away. And,
They reappear in your use.
it's... Well... What's now?
I'm too busy scowling to answer you.
We need to find
Yeah,
Also, what was that book that you
This
found?
entire time, you've been, like, looking down, like, shouting, and just Lois has not shut up.
And I found like a bunch of books with just like nothing inside of them, and
Yeah.
just this has been a huge waste of my
You
time.
kind of, like, open up a book, and just, it's dust, and you kind of hold it upside down, and just all the pages fall out and, like, disintegrate.
This is what I fell into the ocean for. It's a huge waste. All of this.
I saw him pick up the special book, right?
The special book is not touched by time at all. It looks completely in perfect, pristine condition.
So what's up with that book? Is that his journal of some sort?
Matter of fact, you touch the cover of the book, and it doesn't feel like a hardback cover at all. It
I
feels
don't recognize the language
kind of
that's
leathery
written in.
and
I
soft
certainly hope that
and
maybe you should read
skin-like almost.
Skin.
I get like a wide grin on my face, like you've never seen before. Like,
Oh, good stuff.
oh, you have no idea what I could do with this.
Oh, jeez. That's scary.
Alrighty then. Is it beneficial things to us?
And Varys, you have no idea that you do this, but it's when you watch him draw his sword and hold him in his hand.
Oh.
Wait, what?
He draws his scimitars.
Yeah,
So-
I'm just talking to you and I just draw my scimitars.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Varys, you have no idea you're doing this.
Yeah. Is it beneficial to us?
Oh. Oh yes.
Are you growling at Varys?
Just kind of in general,
growls in
at,
general.
at everything.
I mean, I even say that, yeah, you see him, you don't hear what they're saying, but you just watch Varys draw his swords at him.
Varys, what are you doing?
I'm having a conversation with my friend. Wow, I really need to go to bed at some point. I put them away again. How does that keep happening?
I knew he was cursed.
We need to return to Maria.
Yes, that is a good point. The question is, how exactly do we go about doing that? Do we just walk back the way we came, holding hands? Preferably?
Which way was
I don't
that?
want to get separated from you guys.
Preferably. Do you remember how we even got here? The path we took?
I remember just walking straight.
There was no
Unfortunately,
real
the
path.
tower rotates, as I recall, so...
Then we just start walking.
You guys feel the earth beneath you kind of start shaking and
Oh, no.
trembling,
Oh no.
and you
Or we
feel
fall!
you feel this obsidian area that you're on. You feel it kind of being pulled towards the direction you guys came.
Ethan, hurry! Get Alexia and let's go. Let her
She
piggyback.
just leaves me there. Nope.
Am I piggybacking Alexia now?
It's up to you. Make a strength check.
You're the
Strength
strong-
check?
You're the strong one. I can't do
It's
it.
up
Okay.
to you.
I could abuse magic and do it, but no.
Theoretically, I should pass this.
Theoretically.
I'm gonna use a point of luck.
Oh my gosh. I'm
You're
not confident in
that
the piggyback
Thick
skills.
booty!
Yeah, I should
He's weighing you down.
Nat 20!
You pick her up with one hand and put her over your shoulder as you start walking.
Yes.
You've never felt more manhood in your life. You're like slightly put off, but also like intrigued.
Like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about this, but
Yeah,
I'm
you have mixed
moving,
feelings about
so-
everything that's happening.
You feel like
Uh,
he definitely feels like a man, and you definitely feel like a woman.
You kind of like it, but you don't.
it's like,
I'm
God
an
damn it,
independent
Ethan.
woman.
You're an independent woman, but also
I'm
muscles.
comfortable with this.
Anyway, so as you
I'm
guys
okay
start
with
moving forward, You see the bits of debris out in the spatial area. They're also being pulled in the direction you guys came from.
Oh.
And as you guys kind of make it off the platform and make it down those stairs again. And you make it to the end of the stairs, and you see that the tower is being sucked forward at a rapid pace. And you see everything around you is kind of being pulled forward in a rapid pace. And you see the crystal kind of just glinting off in the distance, but everything is being pulled towards it.
Ooh.
I think I see it. Up ahead, we need to make haste. Yes.
Okay, well, I can only go. Well, no, if someone's carrying me, I'll go as fast as you guys.
So as the tower is being held horizontally as opposed to vertically, what would you guys like to do?
Oh, so it's.
Well, we were walking on the sky before. What does that
Are we,
even
walking
mean
sideways
now?
now?
Yes. Time has distorted this zone.
So
The
we're
tower that was once
walking this
vertical is now horizontal.
way? That's cool.
I'm confused.
You know what? This place never made sense before. Maybe our sense of what's right is not what happens here, so I'm just gonna fucking go for it and just jump out and see if maybe I fly towards.
Make either an athletics check or an acrobatics check, whatever you want to do.
Flop onto
Alright.
the top
Acrobatics
of the
it
ocean.
is.
Okay.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
12?
12. It's just enough to barely hit the very tip of your toe hits the side of the tower as it's
Oh, no.
sideways. And you kind of like
Nice.
flop there for a second before you're able to catch your balance and just barely able to stand on it horizontally.
Alright. That was fucking weird, but I'm sure that you guys can do it.
Yeah. So you guys can either... Actually, Alexia, you're being carried, so
Yeah.
Ithlin, make either an acrobatics check or athletics check. With Alexia on you, the DC will just be increased, but it will not be at disadvantage.
Oh no.
Athletics it is.
Okay. The
Can I
DC will
help
be...
him?
No. The DC will be increased, but it'll be a normal roll for you.
Okay. I use my last point of luck.
Okay.
Oh no.
Another nat 20, please.
Theoretically, I shouldn't have to roll very high. That's better. 17?
That's perfect. You're able to contribute Alexia's weight in your jump. So as you get your running jump, you run at it, and then you kind of hold her forward as like a weight momentum, and you jump across, and you kind of use her body to like weigh you towards the objective.
I like
How much
swing you
do
around.
I weigh?
Yeah!
Well, that armor has a weight. As
Yeah,
well.
my armor weighs 45 pounds.
Ah,
so-
jeez.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
But yeah, Ethelin's able to cross the gap in no time. And so you guys find yourself running along the perimeter of the tower on the outside. It's linked as opposed to
Oh, it's so weird.
going up it. And so you run across the tower and you see these various large bits of earth and buildings and things that the debris that was there beforehand. They're within 5 feet of each other, so easy for you guys to jump across them as you do so. But everything is being pulled towards the crystal still, the entrance way you guys came. And it's almost like a vortex, and after a while you feel just no control over your body as the debris and yourself are being pulled towards it.
Do I fly off Ithlin's back?
I don't know. Do you let go of her
Just
as you
because
guys
of, like,
start being pulled
it's
forward?
like
Or?
gravitational
No.
pull.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are pulled back through the crystal, and you find yourself in that dark area you were before, which is nothing but pitch darkness.
No.
That kind of weightless water that isn't water, but is also not something you can't breathe. It's just this empty black space. You guys speak and no words come out. It's completely dead silent here. You see the crystal in front of you, the entranceway that you guys made your way into this other realm, and you see it begin to, the cracks on it begin to realign itself and reheal itself and become whole again, and then it just vanishes.
Oh. How do we get out?
And this huge amount of energy kind of shoots up from the bottom of you guys, and you're stuck in this vortex, and you're just spinning around and round and round and round and round and round. At this point, Ithlin, make a strength check.
I'm screaming at this point, so
You're screaming at the top of your lungs, and you feel the burn in your lungs, but no sound is coming out.
yeah.
23.
But you have your scimitars in your hand. How much?
23.
Better
23?
from us.
You actually are able to hold on to
Slice this
Alexia the entire time.
Nice.
Yeah.
You feel gravity and force trying to pull her away from you, and you latch on with both arms and hold her there. And you guys spin for what seems forever, and just being pulled in these different directions. Varys, you've lost sight of them at this point. You can't see them at all. And then all of a sudden, you guys break the surface of the ocean.
Do our bags get wet again?
Yes, you are wet. But you guys are looking kind of like face up at the sky.
Are we laying on the water?
Yeah.
Can we walk on the water?
No. It is water for all intents and purposes. But you guys have...
So if we're back in the ocean, do we get attacked by that thing again?
You look around and it just seems to be a peaceful ocean.
Oh.
I'm just like floating on my back, scimitars in front of me, swinging. I look around. Do I see my friends?
Make a perception check.
Oh my god.
Oh, what is that? Is that a 4?
That was a 4, but it's an 18.
Yeah, you can see... You're not sure if it's your friends, but you see just some like 200 yards away. You see just something else floating there as well.
Oh,
That's a long ways.
Ithlin? Alexia?
Yeah, you guys
Don't leave
can't hear
me!
them.
Don't leave me.
What the hell are these doing in my hands? I put them away again.
I knew he was
treading water.
cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we see Maria?
No.
Did we leave her like down in like the bottom of the ocean?
No, she didn't jump into the vortex.
She was,
with
yeah,
us.
she was like in the room before the vortex, just sitting there.
No, she passed through the room with us, and then she was standing
Yeah.
on that one like platform we
She
had
went
before
through
we
the
jumped
crystal,
into the
so
vortex.
where's
She didn't go through the crystal.
No,
I thought
we
we-
jumped into the vortex and then walked through the darkness.
That's what I meant.
And then
She was
into
like-
the crystal.
There's like a platform before the vortex. That she,
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
went
she stayed up
through.
there.
You guys went through it, but she did not go through
Yeah.
it with you.
Oh,
No,
she
she
stayed on
the
the
surface.
ship.
She stayed on the outside.
Okay.
No, she
We
stayed
have
on.
no ship.
She stayed on the outside. She went through the underground or the under ocean floor with you.
Yeah.
And breached the vortex with you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
So
she's
we,
on
like,
the bottom
popped-
of the ocean.
No, so we popped out, right? And then the three of us jumped into another like that
Mm-hmm.
whirlpool, and then we went down into like the darkness, and then we went into the crystal. She
But
was
she
on
was
the
at
surface
the bottom
whole
of the
time.
ocean fighting with us.
Yeah,
She was, yes.
but she went through that first
Yeah.
vortex, but she didn't go through the crystal.
But where is she now?
don't
That's
know.
what we're wondering.
Yeah, you don't know.
Good question.
So yeah, so I put my scimitars away and I
So
began
everything-
swimming towards the first thing that I saw.
Okay.
We start swimming away.
You guys aren't really sure what it is, but you see a shape coming towards you guys, and it's getting bigger and bigger as it comes towards you.
Sure. Just kidding.
I'm not bleeding. No sharks coming towards me.
Out here it would be the Kraken or something.
Right? The Kraken. Do we see any sort of land?
No.
We're
Any
way out here.
pieces of ship floating?
No.
In the middle of nowhere.
We're just gonna have to wait for whatever
See,
that
the sad
thing
music is playing now so that the
There
chat
he is.
knows that
Dead.
we're dying out in the ocean.
Yeah.
Alexia Ethelyn, that shape is getting larger and larger coming at you.
I don't know what else to do.
I go
Just wait.
into one of the central pouch of my backpack, and I pull out our unfolding boat.
Damage and doesn't
Yeah, I thought it got, like,
Damaged
blown up.
floating boat. It's
That's not
like
what we're on though. But remember, I
damaged,
like
but not
said for it to go
destroyed.
into a cube because I was like, maybe
Uh.
this will work, maybe it won't, and then it was like this jacked up cube.
Yeah, it's not a cube. You pull out this hunk of wood and try and tell it to do that, and it's just a hunk of wood still.
So it's useless.
Yeah.
I toss it and
Does
say
it at least
rowboat.
float?
You toss it and say rowboat, and it hovers there for a second and just sinks.
Alright, well, we have no more floating boat. I don't have the energy to dive in to get. That is out of commission.
I cast levitate on myself
Okay.
because I don't feel like swimming.
Do I levitate with him?
Let me read what levitate says.
If she's
Do you
on
just
it,
drop me into the water?
she'll
Because I'm
float with you.
exhausted. I won't be.
It can hold up to 500 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So maybe.
I can't be that. I'm not that heavy.
I mean, I don't weigh 250 pounds.
Neither do I.
What's levitate say?
So, well, one creature or object of your choice you can see within range rises vertically up to 20 feet and remains suspended there for the duration. But the spell
What's the first part say? One
It's-
object?
it's one creature or object, but it can hold up to 500 pounds.
Yeah, so if you levitate yourself, as long as you can hold on to Alexia, I'll say it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, very good then.
So you, Varys, as you swim towards this object there, you see it kind of rise above the water, and you're not sure what it is yet, but
Maybe it's Maria, and I continue
okay.
swimming.
We need to find Maria. Do you see anything? Anyone?
Both kind of like look around. You want me to
I have
roll
blood in
something?
my eyes.
Yeah, gotta make a perception check.
Alright. Nat 1.
Oh, wow.
We'll take a shot. Yeah, so you see your natural one. You try and get a look around you, and Alexia's hair is currently like out of its normal like ponytail or whatever it is, and so it's like in your face at this point, and you're trying to like look, but it's just in your eyes, and you're like,
Yeah.
and you can't see anything.
I'm still pretty caught up in the fact we're out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Varys, you get finally within like 100 feet of this thing, and you can tell that it is Ethelyn and Alexia.
Hmm.
But it looks like they're struggling there in the air, like 10 or so feet above the water. It looks like they're struggling there.
And make haste. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he found you. Maybe Lawless found you and he's doing something. So just
You suddenly realize you're swimming with the scimitars out.
paddles.
Yeah, it actually works to your advantage.
Ooh.
You kind of tip them upside down and use them as kind of like skis as you pull yourself through the water.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Nice.
I approve.
But after a while, yeah, you are under them as they're kind of hovering above the water.
What's going on? Are you alright?
I don't know. What are we going to do out here?
That's
We
a good
need
question.
to
Do we
find
have the
Maria.
boat still?
No boat.
No.
That hunk of wood is useless.
So you're up there. Do you see
It's
any
the bottom of the
land
ocean.
or anything that we might be able to swim to?
No, we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, then it was nice knowing you guys. We got 3/4 of the way there. Maybe someone else will take a boat. Mantle of being heroes and slay the last dragon.
What? Lawless?
Yes.
Do you think he will be a benevolent god?
Lawless, do you see him? Is he here? I'm just like.
She says it and like whips you in the face with her hair.
How close is that thing that's coming towards us?
It was.
It's
Varys.
underneath you, it's Ferris.
It was me.
Oh, it was just Ferris.
I knew it was me too, yeah.
Yeah. Dang it. It's
Yeah.
just Varys. No shark. Just Varys.
Any sign of Maria?
No.
Or anyone else from the boat?
Everyone
that I
from the
can
boat's
see.
dead. Except,
Yeah, that's pretty likely.
well, they all died. We know that. They died before we even hit the bottom.
Yeah,
of the
it's
ocean.
probably eaten by that thing in the water, that shadow thing.
Captain,
That is
what's his
unfortunate.
name?
I gotta wipe, like,
Captain Duskin.
I liked Captain.
How
Dustin.
dare
Captain
you?
He was a cool guy.
He's dead.
I gotta, like,
All of
wipe
our companions
water out
are
of my
dead.
eyes and hit myself in the head with the hilt. What the fuck? Why do I keep doing that? Alright.
Maybe
Put
you
those
need to
away.
strap them to your body.
Wipe my eyes, just. Well then. And I just, like, float on my back. Well, I suppose there's worse ways to go, but this is definitely one of the
How long does levitate
easier
last?
ways.
10 minutes.
Okay.
That's not long enough for a short rest for me to attune to my cloak and fly away.
No.
So you guys, it's past 10 minutes, so it's about 15 or so minutes.
Oh.
And so eventually you kind of plop back into the water.
Excuse me, we float gently down to the
That's
water.
true. But eventually you hit back the water. And you guys are kind of just like floating there. And at this point you guys are like kind of dead man floating. So you guys are on your back, just kind of floating along. The sun is beating down on you guys at this point, and you're starting to feel a little bit sunburned. This is directly on you guys.
Oh, there's like the sun out where we are now?
Yes.
Oh, we're out in like the regular ocean now. Well, before we were out in like
I
bleak, horrible, like shadow
The Bermuda
ocean.
Triangle.
Yeah, basically.
I know.
Where
Oh.
sailors go to die.
But so you guys are kind of floating along, and after a while you guys hear this meow, meow, meow.
What?
Drones.
You hear the sound of kind of arcane energy kind of humming. And you guys look up, and like the sky kind of parts a little bit as the airship kind of like floats down.
Oh, thank
my god.
Does anybody else see that strangely shaped cloud?
Oh.
I try to hold my hand
I
up
swear
to
it
walk
looks
out
just
to
like
it
that
to see.
airship, but I know it won't come for us because it doesn't.
At this point, it's been
I
about an
wouldn't
hour.
know.
You guys just kind of floating there. You're starting to get hungry.
I feel like
It's
because
actually
I
been a few
have
days since you guys have eaten at this point.
3 points of exhaustion,
Oh, wow.
it's
Yes.
kind of impossible for me to last an hour just...
No, you can float there. Like, you can dead man float. It takes
You
all.
have to like sit there and
No,
like
it
hold
takes
yourself up.
it takes none of your energy to do this. You're basically a corpse at this point, just floating in the water.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna let you just like sink into the ocean.
It's like, goodbye.
We're gonna like grab her.
As long as you're alive and like have air in your body, like you're just kind of floating there. But you don't have energy to swim by any means.
I'm a dead fish.
Yes.
So what is the strange cloud doing now?
It gets kind of lower and lower until you see like a spool of rope just kind of like fall down into the water.
Oh my.
I thought I just saw rope come by. I'm imagining my rescue quite well.
I kind of like grab for one of the ropes.
You grab the rope and it gets solid. It's there.
Oh.
It's
I
a rope
kinda
ladder.
like-
It's not just rope. It's a rope ladder. So
Yeah, so I kind of like grab onto it. How close is Alexia to me?
I mean, you guys are kind of drifting at the same pace. So you guys are
Mhm.
probably within 10 feet of each other at this point.
I don't have the energy to swim to you. Just tell them to navigate right above me.
I'm gonna go like grab you.
Okay.
And then I'll just reach up and hold on. And
Yeah.
you just pull me up.
I'll take you up with me.
Okay.
Just piggyback and pull her up.
Well, I mean that's what I was doing
Just
before.
like tie me on with a rope.
Make
That's
another
all
strength
I
check.
do.
Alright.
If only you had levitate now.
I mean I do still.
Oh.
I'm gonna try and strength check first.
Get halfway up and then just
Okay.
cannonball.
Cool. Let's see. 26.
Yeah, you definitely able to grab her and pull her up the rope ladder.
I'm still floating there like, yeah, this is how I imagined it. The two of you would get out and I would be left to die. This is I'd always wanted. You
Ferris!
two are more important than me.
Shut up and grab the rope ladder!
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
God damn it, Ferris!
I'm so thirsty. There's so much water around.
If you make
I
me
don't
come
know what
down
to
there
drink
and carry the both of you up this one rope ladder,
That would require a very intense strength check.
I know. I can't pass that.
But could
You
you,
got a
if
26.
you had a
I mean,
potion
maybe,
of
but-
giant strength?
I suppose that I should go along with the delusion and I reach out for the rope or swim towards it if
It's solid. Yeah, you swim towards it and it's solid. It feels like wooden rope.
I don't know if this is magic or what, but it just seems so real. I bet I could even
Climb
pull
it,
myself up like it's
Varys.
nothing and start climbing.
You do. Before long, you guys are on the deck of the skyship, and you kind of look and you see everyone around you, the crew there, the remnants of Captain Duskin's crew, as well as
Aw.
the airship crew. And you guys are a little bit delirious to the point where, like, you are thirsty. It's been a few days. You collapse. It's been a few days since you've eaten. You're definitely thirsty. The fight from the dragon, despite the healing, did take a lot out of you. And you guys are kind of in the middle of this crowd on the deck of the skyship. And just looking around at all these different people, and they're all looking at you expectantly. And you're just not really sure what to do. Alexia passes out.
Mm-hmm.
At the point, there's a break in the crowd, and you see Wilhelm there, and he's just, good heavens, I cannot believe you guys are alive. I thought you were dead. We've been searching for days.
Everyone's dead.
Days. Then we're the only ones left.
Does this mean that... Where's the ship? Where's the crew?
It's all gone.
I walk up to Wilhelm and I kind of like grab him by the shoulders and then touch his face. Are you real?
Get this man some food and some water immediately. They're clearly suffering from dehydration, lack of food. Take them to the quarters immediately.
Oh, hello there, as I say to the person leading me to
You
where
have
I'm
two
going.
people on both sides. You like grabbing your arms, kind of looping them in between their arms, and like dragging you to your room. Time kind of ceases for you guys, just in terms of you guys are kind of in and out of it. Only about a day passes, but you guys are kind of in and out of it as you guys pass out and fall asleep and wake up. And when you wake up, there's food there, and you guys can eat as much as you can, and then like kind of fall back asleep. But only about a day passes, and when you guys finally wake up from your slumber, and you guys are considered full rested, one of your points of exhaustion is gone. And you guys are considered full rested. It's kind of dawn at this point. The sun's just kind of hanging beneath the clouds, but you kind of walk onto the deck of the ship, and you can see that people are just making sure nothing's going wrong. But from the first thing we hear, it's a very slow and peaceful journey. There's not much out here. And the sun's kind of just barely dipping below the horizon at this point. Just kind of red, kind of cascading across the clouds that you guys are currently above.
I start asking around if anyone's seen Maria. Just whoever I run into. Where's Maria? Did you find her?
Is that the surly fellow with the beard?
No, you buffoon. It's the young woman that was traveling with us.
Bro, Alexia.
No, that's me. The other young woman. The younger woman.
Oh.
The young girl that was with us.
I'm afraid we didn't find survivors.
We killed Maria.
We didn't kill Maria.
Maria's dead.
I know what happened to Maria.
Lawless found her.
That's not what I'm saying.
No.
It's probably what I'm thinking. I'm not saying it.
I kind of crumble, thinking that she's dead.
No.
I'm beside myself. Just crying out. Oh, Maria.
Ferris?
After I wake up, I realize everything that's happened.
You wake up with the swords in your hand.
Interesting.
Perfect. Kill.
Why do I keep doing this? I'd like to find out more.
Okay. Should I take an hour to attend to them?
Sure. What is this? Fucking sorcerers?
Do you have enough
Chamber
items?
secrets?
Do you have enough items not
I
to
would-
attend? You have your armor.
I don't have my armor anymore.
Okay.
I gave it to...
That's in
Wow.
my room.
So I tuned to these. Okay. That's what they did. Cool. I see. Very interesting. Don't worry. I'll find someone eventually. Put them away. So, like, with the weight of everything that's happened so far, the first thing I do is I wake up and I immediately just start crying.
Okay.
So I grieve the loss of my uncle. Who I assume has
he's
died.
dead. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And
Do I hear him crying?
no, you don't.
You guys are different rooms
It's a
apart.
silent cry.
Silent cry.
Just tears, no vocalization. And then I also remember that I made a promise. So, I have somebody fetch for me the remnants of Duskin's crew.
Okay.
I wait for them.
Do you guys? So this is the when you guys first wake up moment. So Alexia has searched for Maria, and no one's heard anything about her. Varys has summoned the crew together on the deck of the ship. What do you do when you first wake up, Evelyn?
I think about the fact that we never saw Lawless.
Okay.
Think about how strange that is.
Go ahead. Given your occult studies and given your personal character background, I will allow you to make a intelligence check.
Ooh, it's good.
Alright. 21.
You need a 20, so you just barely passed it.
Oh, baby.
So as you ponder why you never saw Lawless, you, being the scholar that you are, you kind of ponder over all of the details of the fight and the details of what happens and all you know about the ancient gods and the primal dragons. And you start thinking about the fact that while you've never heard of a dragon becoming one, you know what a lich is.
Oh.
And you know that a lich stores their soul in another location.
Oh.
Oh yes, that's right.
We didn't even have to fight it at all. This was a complete waste of time. I am angry now.
And you come to the conclusion that while you guys may have defeated the dragon, its soul is out there somewhere.
Yep, we didn't have to fight it at all.
Ethan, you're not you when you're hungry. Have Snickers.
I come aboard deck and I'm really like visibly pissed off.
As you come on deck, you see the remnants of Duskin's crew, the 10 or so men that were left behind. They're currently kind of in a circle around Varys, and he's talking.
How many are there?
10.
10.
Not counting the ones you left at Fallguard Harbor.
Yes. Well, man, it would seem that our journey has been somewhat of a success. Although, to some it may be a disaster, as lives were lost on this trip, and I did promise you gold for your troubles, and I do in fact have that gold. But as for the people that were lost, I hope that you would take some of this excess and give it to the families of those who were lost. And as far as I'm concerned, you men are the bravest and best sailors on these seas that anyone has ever seen. And I hope that you remember Duskin and the others well. You keep sailing. And that I will give the crew I will give them each their 200 gold
Okay.
and 39 platinum to distribute to the families of the fallen.
They take it, and at some point, one of the men has kind of like a, not a large barrel, but kind of like a, about this tall kind of barrel in their arm. And kind of take a ladle full of it and kind of pour it in everyone's glasses. They're walking around, and after a while they put it down and they pour you one. So I assume you're on deck as well. And they pour you one who has appeared on deck, and they hand you a mug and they pour you some ale. And the engineers who run the skyship also kind of take a break from their post and also hold one up. And one of the men steps forward and he goes, to Captain Duskin. This is what he well wanted.
Captain
To die at sea.
No. I mean, okay.
To Duskin and to the Fallen.
Yeah, kind of hold it out. Do you join in at all, Irfan?
No.
Okay.
I walk over to Varys. Varys, if you're quite done showboating, do you realize all of these men died for nothing? That dragon was a lich. Do you know what that means?
I have no idea what that means.
That dragon's not dead at all. Have you considered why we never saw Lawless that entire time?
Nope.
That is because he did not need to be there to absorb the soul of the dragon. The dragon's soul is contained within a vessel, a phylactery, in some other location other than its body. Our job is not yet done.
Tell me, how do you know this?
That is a long and complicated story.
Oh, that's a good
many
thing that we're on a
things.
boat. You can tell me all about your long, complicated story. Why didn't you tell us anything about that when we were still down there? If this dragon's soul, as you put it, is somewhere in a safe location, why would it not be close nearby? Why didn't we finish the job while we were down there?
Do I hear this conversation?
Why did we
I don't know, where you at right
leave
now?
I don't
and
know.
let all these deaths happen for
I do.
nothing?
I do.
Well,
I go off into a corner.
it would seem that
cry
we did
about
not
it.
have the time.
I'll
That's
say
right.
if you want to
We
walk
never have
upon this
time,
conversation, you
do we?
can.
No, we don't.
I slowly stumble upon their conversation.
But as far as I can tell, when I look around at the waters, it looks as though whatever effect happened here is gone for now. Maybe people will be able to sail through here, explore other lands. I suppose it's all worth it. The cost of countless lives, I guess. Even family. I walk away.
Have you forgotten?
I walk away, sir.
Have you
done talking.
forgotten
I walk
that our entire mission is to stop Lawless? Do you have any idea? Have you conceived that this one man is amassing the power that the gods themselves feared?
At this
He
point,
is on his way to having 3 of the 4 souls. Do you think he will be a benevolent god?
Iflin!
That
Have
he
this
will give us
conversation
everything.
somewhere else!
Just walk it away.
At this point, everyone is looking at the three of you. They've all turned around from their drinks and are staring at all three of you. Some of them are mid-drink, while other ones are just kind of like, excuse me?
Control yourself and leave this area.
I take a barrel
Okay.
that they were
I
passing
take the
out.
glass that they poured me in and just kind of like throw it to the side and walk downstairs.
Pour one out for his homies.
Okay.
This is awkward. That's where I'm going.
You guys have the awkward moment where you're both trying to leave, but you guys enter the same hallway.
We're both just like at the door trying to pass her at the same time, just like
You get into one of those fights where you're like, after
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
No,
after
after you.
and then we both go again at the same time. Oh, that's too good.
Alright, so since they both leave, I turn to the people who unfortunately witnessed their untimely squabble.
One of Duskin's men comes up to you and he goes, "What do you mean? We all died for nothing. The men down there, the captain. We came out here to be heroes."
I unfortunately don't know what they mean. But no, those men did not lose their lives for nothing. We will accomplish the goal that we came out here for.
And how many will it take? Huh? Hundreds? Thousands? They call you a champion, but...
Oh, that hurts.
I think you're all nothing but ill omens. And kind of spits on the ground and walks away.
Does anyone else share his sentiment?
Make an intimidation check.
I wasn't trying to intimidate anyone.
It's very intimidating nonetheless.
Oh man. Alright. Ooh, 13.
13. Most of them kind of just turn back to their drinks and like look away from you and just kind of like... Just
Awkward.
Yeah.
I hold up my glass.
Okay.
These men did not die for nothing. Will it take more to achieve our goal? That is something I cannot answer. But we will do our best to keep and protect the rest of the world. We will avenge those who have given their lives for this noble cause. And we drink today in their honor. And I take a drink.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, man. Oh, that's not as good. Oh, 19.
That's really good.
Pretty good.
Everyone kind of turns around. They're like, "I!" And the engineers go, "I!" And everyone starts drinking.
I excuse myself to find my ill-timed comrades.
The two of them are down below deck, opposite ends of the corridor leading to different bedrooms, just kind of not looking at each other and kind of looking away.
Alright, I find Ithlin specifically, because he caused a scene.
Well, they're both down there, so.
Well,
Like I said, they're just at opposite ends of the room.
Alright, who
this
do I
corridor.
encounter first?
You probably see Varys first.
Alright.
I don't know, who won the whole who goes first thing?
Who got him first?
I don't know. We got to roll for it?
Yeah, do it.
Sure.
Whoever gets higher.
The both of you go ahead and roll a d20 and just add your charisma modifiers.
Oh, well, I'm going to fail.
Well, how about this? The both of you add your strengths. So
Yeah.
you
Nudges who
add
out?
your strength modifier with your perception or proficiency.
Okay.
You add your charisma modifier with your proficiency.
Okay, that's more fair.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's Varys' passive aggression.
That's 20.
Oh my god.
Oh.
It's Varys' passive aggression versus Ithlin's pure broad strength.
I was going to say mine was a 26, but
Wow.
of course,
With a natural 20, what's your
brute
total?
force
It's
just
still
throws me to
29.
the side.
29? Okay, yeah. So at a certain point, you guys are kind of shoving your way through the corridor, and you just push Varys out of the way with one arm, and you kind of stumble backwards, Varys, and Ithlin walks down the hallway, and you feel a little bit emasculated at the same time. So you encounter Varys first, as Ithlin made his way down there first, so he's farther along the hallway.
See if I ever heal you again.
Good thing
Varys,
I saved all my health potions.
what was happening up deck?
Island's throwing a fit over a theory.
What theory?
You can hear them talk at this point. You guys are placed at the opposite ends of the room, but you're still in the corridor.
He believes that he's read about this
Actually, hold that thought.
thing. Got it. Of course.
Let's grab Ithlin and go into a room. So no other crew members overhear our conversation.
I gotta say, I didn't strike you as this kind of lady, but if you insist. I've had a lot to drink.
Focus!
Who
Oh,
comes first,
just talking, I see.
I'll grab both of them and go into my room. The room
Okay,
that I woke
sure.
up in. Now explain to me what happened. What's this theory you have, Ithlin?
It is not a theory. I'm going to explain something to you that I've not told very many people.
As long as you do it calmly.
I'm sorry for my outburst.
As you should be.
My brother and I, on a time, spent very much of our efforts into the occult studies. I eventually came to my senses and realized no good would come from this. But my brother pursued the ends of becoming a lich. And I pull out a silver, what appears to be a vial with runes all over it. This is a phylactery. This is a vessel to hold one's soul outside of their physical being, effectively making you immortal. The dragon we fought is a lich. That means its soul is in a different location.
That's why Lawless never appeared.
Correct.
Does that mean Lawless was in the... Do you believe Lawless was in the location of the soul while we defeated the dragon?
It's very likely. I do not believe that we would have to kill it at all.
I don't understand. What is the point of putting your soul in that if you can't do anything?
Yeah.
Well, normally, someone would not be able to do anything about it. But in the past, Lawless has done what? Absorbed the souls of these dragons. I do not think it would matter at all if it was inside of its body or inside of a phylactery.
Right, but I don't understand the point of these phylacteries. Why would anyone do this?
It makes you immortal.
You just sit in a glass bottle all day? I mean, that's worse than dying, I feel.
Is there a way for a soul to be transferred into another body?
Well, it sounds like it is the idea, but you need somebody as a help, right?
You know, it takes a large amount of time in a proper vessel, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
They eventually rehab it in another form.
Mm-hmm.
But when they die, it goes back to their vessel.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, but I don't know anything about the souls of dragons. I have no idea how long it would take. It could be immediately, a week, a month, a year. I have no idea.
Are you still holding that vial that you pulled out?
Yeah.
Alright. Is it full of something?
His brother's soul.
No.
No? It's just
It's
a glass
empty.
bottle. Empty? So you're carrying around this empty vial that you call a phylactery. Is it supposed to be for yourself?
No, it's for my brother.
Your brother. Well then. Does that mean your brother is...
He's lost in the 9 hells, if you must know.
lost in the 9 hells, you say? Ah.
What do you think happens when you meddle in the affairs of demons? No one wins. Maybe you gain power for a moment. In the end, it doesn't matter.
This is why you're on this journey, Ethel?
You two make religion checks with advantage.
Oof.
Ah.
8?
10.
Oh my god.
The only connection that Alexia can make is that you know Ithlin's a Vamiran elf, and by extension probably his brother is as well.
Yeah.
And you know that tragedy befell Vamira at some point.
Ethlin, how old are you?
Well, I don't know. I've stopped counting. Thousands of years, perhaps? What is time to an elf? I don't know.
You know, that's what I don't understand. Why would your brother want to become this lich, as you put it? The elves are immortal anyways.
They're not immortal, they just age slower.
We are immortal when we are connected to the heart of the earth.
So when you're not connected, you can die.
Correct.
We just...
Honestly, I don't know if it's because I'm half elven or not, but knowing that I'll die eventually someday is somewhat of a comfort, actually. Being cursed with immortality is being forced to watch the people you love and know die over the years.
I feel like
Seems
we're
like a horrible
diverting
way to
from
live.
the actual conversation that needs to be had. What you and your brother do is your business. However, do we think that Lawless would be able to open one of these phylacteries and absorb the soul of the dragon?
He's got so much magical shit on him now. I imagine it's the same as opening a lid on a barrel or something to get wine
Alright.
to him, anyways.
So moving forward, we just assume that he now has absorbed into the gauntlet, that he's been absorbing all the other dragon souls, that now he has the black dragon soul.
Best case scenario, he has no way of opening it, but he has it in his possession.
Worst case scenario, he has opened it.
Yes, there's no best case scenario.
Right. We have no idea where the phylactery even would be, so assuming Lawless has it, opened or unopened.
Look, phylactery or no phylactery, all I know is every challenge we've ever faced together, we've overcome. How is it going to be any different with this next dragon that we have to fight, or Lawless himself?
By the time we have to fight Lawless, he will have amassed the powers that the gods feared. The gods. All of them.
You've
The
been
dragons
God
were
before.
so powerful they had to be individually sealed away. They could not all of them be sealed away in one place. Do you realize what that means?
That they were in different locations at the time of their sealing, I suppose.
If you somehow happen to have a plan to kill a god, then by all means, please, divulge this to me. Because this is fastly approaching what we are facing here. Do you realize this?
Yeah. I think.
Who provides the Aether Marked abilities?
Who provides it?
Yeah. Like, who decides who the Aether Mark is each, like, century or whatever?
Do you know?
No one knows.
Every 10,000 years.
Every 10,000 years a Super Saiyan is born.
Wherever the god of magic is.
What if that's what Lawless is doing? He's absorbing the souls and, like, potentially the powers and abilities of the dragons to defeat a god who has some sort of power over Maria so she doesn't die.
Who knows anything about Lawless? Do either of you guys?
No.
Like, I don't know him really.
I just
Not
know that
much,
he's
no.
Lawless of the House of Andrognir, and that he had a potentially sexual relationship with our friend Sawyer.
Cool.
He's
And that
guardian of Maria.
Sawyer died in a most unnatural way.
He's Maria's guardian. He would do anything to protect her.
Second
And
father.
Dragnir was the blue dragon, right?
Yes.
So in Dragnir, for some reason, the weapon was passed to a human family. Why? The spear that he has.
All three of you go ahead and make history checks. Given the information you guys know.
Oh,
Not good. Oh, not one.
21.
Oh.
Take your shotty. 21.
I
Yep.
know.
If
that.
you're supposed to get these.
I am, but I rolled 11.
You have your luck. It's been.
Did I
you've
use
rest-
it all?
Yes.
Yeah, but
You
you've
used
rested.
3.
Oh, I've
we have
rested.
rested.
Cool.
Yeah, we had a full rest.
Well, I can't get worse. I rolled a 2. So.
You can get one.
That's way better.
I rolled a
That's
1.
better.
Okay. 21.
21. So
You know
let's say you
that.
don't come to this conclusion at all,
But it's my information.
well, all of you share this information. At this point. You've had the same experiences.
That's like the really sad part.
So
We just get to have that moment like, yeah, we're so smart.
yeah, Iflin and Varys come to this conclusion at the exact same time. With the information that Alexia just gave you about Andragnir, and with the bow that you guys found in the first dragon's lair, you piece together the information and have a strong theory that you know that these weapons were created in defiance of the gods. That the blacksmith you guys met made these weapons to kill gods because of what they did to him. So, you know Alexia possesses one, and it goes to reason that Lawless may possess one as well.
Yeah,
What?
your scimitars.
What about my scimitars?
Those
As they're out in your
another.
hand.
They're another god-slaying weapon. We've gotten
Yeah,
a
we've been having
god-slaying
this heated
weapon.
conversation. Just yeah.
We've gotten a god-slaying weapon from each dragon, right? So I have one. I got the Leviathan. We just found the scimitars. And Dragnir gave his away. Lawless,
the spear
Lawless
already?
has the spear.
Oh.
He's had it since I've known him.
Oh.
We just never knew where it came from.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Fair enough.
Since Lawless has talked about it, you know the legend is that Andragnir gave it to his ancestors and it's been passed down through each member.
That-
Yeah. That checks out.
Yeah. And you know you guys fought Andragnir, he called Lawless a traitor before Lawless killed him.
Yeah. Yep.
Because Lawless was meant to protect the dragons and go after the gods. But there he was, absorbing Andragnir's soul.
We don't know anything about Lawless. Why should we stop him?
What if we don't?
That's what I'm saying.
What happens when he absorbs the final soul? There's one dragon remaining. We don't know what he's going to do with that power.
Shouldn't we find out?
He's been reluctant to tell us.
There has to be someone who knows something more about him than we do.
Maria. She's the only one who... His sister. She's part of the family. She knows the legend.
Well, I do hope she's still alive.
She is.
They've been out here for days.
I'm sure the sister, probably the strongest mortal or whatever he is now on the planet, is still alive.
Is she still mortal? She's a girl.
Well,
Wallace's
she's his
sister and Maria
so
know the most about him.
she would know the most. If you want, we can go to Arya and speak to her. Assuming we live past all the waves of guards.
I don't know how much Maria would know about her current situation, so if Lawless was absorbing the souls and planning to attack the gods to save Maria's life, I don't know if she knows that. I don't know what she knows of his plan, but the two people who would be our best bet of understanding what he's doing would be Maria or his sister. Alright, we need to find Maria either way.
Mm-hmm.
But we could make another trip to Arya to speak with his sister.
True.
Will she divulge information? I don't know. But she's got to be worried about what her brother's doing.
It seems our most logical course of action.
Well, if you deem it to be the most logical course of action, you're the smartest person I know. Let's do it.
Very well.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go back to my quarters and finish this barrel of ale that I've been working on. I'm about a quarter of the way through, and I Probably am not going to remember anything we talked about this night, but fuck it.
You're holding your swords.
Yeah, I'm holding my sword,
Yeah.
holding the barrel, just like pulling it together.
My concern is that this crew and this vessel have been flying around for days, and there's no sign of Maria. So what if Lawless came and grabbed her?
Yeah, as I'm walking away, she's a strong girl. I'm sure she's fine.
We know he won't hurt her, but
I don't believe he'll hurt her, but we need her help.
yes.
That's fine.
But if he's with Lawless,
I bel-
she's not going to come with us.
That is very likely.
I
So
believe
do we-
Lawless is evil, but he's not pedophile evil.
Do we continue looking for Maria, or do we look for the sister? Lawless's next course of action would be to absorb the red dragon's soul. We know where that dragon is.
Whether or not we ever figure out what he's trying to do, we're going to need her help. We can't do it alone. We, at this point, have to assume that he's going to get the final soul. We've been unable to stop it at this point.
Do we think Maria's with him though?
We have to hope that she will see what he's becoming.
Yeah. I mean, if she's with him, then we can go straight to the sister. If not, who really knows what happened to her while we were gone?
Yes.
I have no magical way of finding out where she is. And I don't know anyone who might.
Eventually I'll get there. It's like slam my door closed.
Well, it seems that this will take some time, which is unfortunately something we don't have. And I also walk out of the room.
Yep.
Whose room are we in?
You're in her room, so.
Okay, I walk back to my room.
Okay. It's a several week journey, as you guys know, from this area to Aria, the edge of the world, apparently, to Aria. So, over the next course of the week and a half, what would you guys like to do, if at all, anything?
I have something I want to do as I'm, a barrel of wine drunk, just doing.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like sitting there in my room, just like, man, it's so fucked up. Oh my god. God. Right. Maybe I should ask him. What I should do. Alright, and I sit like crisscross on my bed and like fall backwards and like, oh shit, I need to be up. Okay. I sit there and I meditate.
Okay.
And I try to contact Darius.
Okay.
This has been a while.
First things first, make a charisma check. With your
Ooh.
proficiency.
With proficiency.
Yes.
Oh my. 17?
17.
And you rolled low.
Did.
Um,
I have high charisma and high
you
proficiency.
feel the gentle sway of the airship as you sit there on the bed, crisscross, and most of it's involuntary as you are quite fucked up at this point, as you said. And so you yourself are kind of swaying back and forth along with the ship. But after a while, You feel completely sober. And you kind of open your eyes, and you're in this, much like Zenveri, this lair, this pitch black area. And you're standing there.
You're here, aren't you? At the ground for the giant eyeball.
And as you look around for it, just opens up in front of you. Varys.
Darius? You're aware of the events that have been going on, aren't you?
Yes. You are treading on grounds that only the ancients dare tread upon.
What do you mean?
You are uncovering secrets no mortal was ever meant to know. Millennia has passed since your ancestors uncovered these truths, and here you are.
I suppose so. I'm just trying to do what I can to save as many people as I can. It's this lawless character who's going about taking souls that should be reborn, as is your domain, I believe.
Yes.
Do you know of his ambitions?
Lawless is clouded in mystery. He is bound to another. This is all I know.
Bound to another? Someone such as yourself, or on the same level of power?
I do not know. Something is keeping me from looking at him.
Something that can keep a god from looking upon what I assume is immortal or something more. Must be something nearly as powerful. What should I do? I need guidance.
Lawless is an inconvenience in this wheel. Destroy him.
Well, that has been the goal. So what you're saying is that what we're doing is right? Keeping the balance, at the very least?
Balance is not found in life, it is found in death. One soul for another.
I understand. And I won't fail. Not again. I'm done speaking to him. I know what I need to do.
See, you think that, and you try to kind of will yourself away from this conversation. But you kind of close your eyes and you open them again, and this huge eyeball is still before you.
Is there more to be known?
You see these tentacles begin to kind of wrap around your legs and up your body. Remember our pact, Varys Galanadale. If it's not you who will take the necessary souls, it is your soul who is forfeit.
I remember well.
You kind of feel them wrap around you to the point where your lungs are having difficulty breathing and the air is kind of escaping your lungs and you're gasping for breath.
As far as I know, I'm your only agent in this world. So easily toss me aside? Or are you just trying to threaten me? I don't bend easily to threats.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, god damn it.
Was that a 2?
That is a 2.
Oh.
It's a good thing my persuasion is 16, which makes it an 18.
Gosh.
An 18 is good, but it's not
That's
quite
crazy.
enough.
Oh. Wow. That's rough.
Remember, you are but a pawn in an ever-turning wheel. If not you, there will be another. Do not fail me. And you kind of wake up in your bed, sweating and still drunk. But you do see these. You feel this kind of bruise around your neck and around your arms and your legs.
I go to bed. Hatred.
Does anyone else like to do anything?
So I've just been resting up, and I've asked for any sort of parchment so I can just kind of write down my thoughts about the situation and potentially what's going on. So kind of like putting random theories on paper and like trying to figure out like what's the motivation to do this or what's the motivation to do that, and trying to better understand what situation.
Yeah, over the course of this very long journey, your exhaustion points are removed, and you're given as much parchment as you need. And you kind of put together like that criminology, like detective board of like pieces of paper kind of stuck to the walls of your room at this point, like little bits of thread connecting them.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to do with them?
I suppose I'll meditate with the Shard of Hadar. I haven't done that in a while.
Okay. Make your charisma check.
Charisma?
Yes, with your proficiency.
Oh.
Or you're not a warlock, so no, just without your proficiency.
Yeah, just a straight roll.
Yeah.
Dang it, 9.
9. You concentrate, but nothing comes to you. Anything else you want to do?
No.
Do you want to read the Book of the Nine Hells?
I didn't read it already?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I'll read that.
So even with your ability to comprehend with the tongue it's in, and it is abyssal, it's very old kind of abyssal.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you read it, like you have to take breaks periodically because you get a headache, and you're reading it and you kind of decipher like a couple paragraphs every hour or so, and your head hurts really bad. You just kind of take a break, and so you go back to it after a few hours, and the headache goes away. But it's just such an old language that even the ability you have to comprehend languages just kind of seems to. We'll say that's also part of the Shard of Hadar, because that was a warlock ability.
Well, I also have the spell Comprehend Languages.
Yeah, and so through that, it takes you a long time to decipher it.
Mm-hmm.
But over the course of this week, the first week of the journey, it is a summoning guide. This gives you detailed instructions on how to open various portals, the correct runes and mathematical equations to open certain portals, and it gives you instructions. And in particular, you need a powerful enough catalyst to open a portal between planes, as well as knowing the demon's true name. But it does give you enough, which symbols and markings to create to summon the demon forth at this point. Various demons, lesser demons, fiends, you know how to do this. So you just need to know the proper name.
I knew it.
Very good.
Knew it.
So you need something that can generate enough energy to do that, as well as the demon's true name. But you have everything you need right here in this book to do so. And it is a journal of Zanveritas, and you realize that he's been experimenting with this for eons. He's been trying to find a way to escape his prison.
So desperate to get out of his prison of nothingness to go to the Nine Hells themselves, or the Abyss? Yeah, demons are from the Abyss. To the Abyss!
Alright, very good.
I guess we head off to Aria?
Yeah, if there's something else you guys want to do, you just move on.
Okay.
Yes.
So, the very long journey back is about the same as it was, you know. You cross over these thresholds of nothingness and rapid heat, rapid cold, and it's an interesting feeling that you're almost traveling in reverse. You were in nothingness for such a long time that you're kind of traveling back into somethingness. And so you experience elements you haven't experienced for a while. Massive amounts of heat, massive amounts of cold. Traveling back into weather, and there's rain, and there's hail, and there's sleet, and there's thunder again. And you're kind of coming back from a place that had known these things to a point where it feels like the world's alive again around you. Until finally you arrive back at Aria, where the skies have been clear for some time since you defeated Drogner. The people see the sky ship, much as they did when they left, and they all cheer for you and celebrate the fact that you guys are there. And they're kind of like ants to you guys as you look down over the bow of the ship, but you can tell they're celebrating.
Apparently we're welcome with open arms. Heroes amongst the populace. Should make talking to his sister easier. Who was his sister again? I never really got that information from him. I think he was afraid of what I might do if I found out.
I don't know her name, but I
You
know
know,
where the
also
House of
never
You
heard
didn't
of
write her
anything.
name down?
No. I don't think so. But I know where the house is.
Well, if we know what the house is, we know where she's staying, most likely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the hangar kind of opens up, and the parts of the roof kind of are pulled apart by these different chain and pulley systems as the ship lands back down. It lands abruptly, and it kind of just like it crashes like the next like 5 or so feet down to the ground. The whole ship kind of shakes, and Wilhelm's like, well, we made it back. It seems the ship could use some repair, as well as a bit of recharging. Good job, all of you.
Thank you, Wilhelm.
Okay.
We did do a good job. And so did you, old chap. I'm sure the history books will remember you well as the...
I just created the vessel that helped the heroes defeat the imminent evil. It's not a big deal.
creating a means by which the heroes were able to get to the locations is surely worth noting in the books of history.
Oh, stop. Perhaps a sentence or two?
Sentence or two, more like a book about the greatest engineer of our time.
Don't forget my magical prowess.
Well then, shall we be off?
As you guys kind of breach the bay area of this ship, you see Regulus Dane, his plate mail not quite fitting perfectly, and his sword over his shoulder, and he goes, it's good you guys are back. I am quite glad you're not dead.
Ah, Sir Regulus Dane. An honest man if I ever saw one. It's a refreshing sight.
I'm sure His Majesty will be quite pleased to see you.
His Majesty, you say?
Yes. Lord Derek. Yes.
Well, I would be quite pleased to meet with him as well, although I'm afraid I'm not quite worthy of being presented to royalty at the moment, as I lack...
Nonsense. A report must be made immediately.
Yeah, I would hope that I would be granted the opportunity to go and purchase something to cover up a bit.
Follow me now.
Certainly.
It's protocol.
As you insist.
And you're pulled into the ground where the king himself, you guys are right back around the time the sun's coming up. So you see the king himself as wearing his sleeping clothes with like his cloak over himself, and he goes, "Oh, it's quite good to see you all. I was afraid you might have perished. It's been quite some time. A month, I believe."
Oh no, Your Majesty, we have made great strides in our progress. In fact, we're almost done with our quest.
Are we?
We are indeed. We are indeed.
Are you going to lie right to his face?
I'm sorry, what?
Whatever do you mean, Ithlin? Accusing me of lying?
Have you forgotten everything I've said to you?
I've not forgotten anything you've said to me. I'm simply stating that we are indeed close quite to our completion of our quest.
Oh. Apparently I'm the pessimist, am I?
It would seem so. I suppose a couple centuries or so does that to a person, but to us more mortal folk, it's, yeah.
Then by all means, please continue.
Sorry about that. Helps, you know.
The truth, if you please, Mr. Galanadale.
Yes, we have defeated, 3 of the 4 dragons that we know of. The last one being in Bonyang, although we've stopped here to...
Bonyang.
Yes, Bonyang.
I suppose you have been gone for quite some time.
Yes, you say that like something has happened in Bonyang. Has there been a change of some kind?
Well, this country is at war for quite some time, and I would not be much of a king if I didn't keep tabs on other countries.
Of course. But what news do you have of Bonyang?
Well, all I know is some sort of natural disaster has struck the continent. It seems a volcano has erupted there.
The volcano erupted?
Apparently so.
What is the state of the capital and the civilians nearby? Is it bad?
That's all I know.
Just that it's erupted. Well, it would seem that we must make haste in traveling there if we want to have any chance of...
From what you told me of Andrognir and his involvement in all recent storms, do you think another dragon is responsible for this?
We know it to be true, although at the time we weren't quite prepared enough to take on the dragon that rested there in Bonyang, so the fact that this volcano's erupted only signifies that it is close to being able to break free of its prison. If not, it already has.
And what's stopping it from striking here?
The 3 of us, of course, once we go and confront it. Even if it does come here, I'm sure you've had the time to muster a small army or 2 to deal with such a threat. I mean, Leparia seems like a well-defended place.
In terms of people, yes, but dragons.
Dragons are not so different from people, as I have been experienced and talked with 3, maybe 4 of them in my lifetime now. They can be defeated. And even though some of the people in your army may not be heroes per se, numbers can overwhelm.
Make a persuasion check. With disadvantage, since Ithlin sold you out.
You just had to give me sass.
I'm not a liar.
I'm not lying. I'm telling him the truth.
Sounds like you're lying.
We're almost done with our quest for 3/4 of the way. What the fuck, dude? Well, that's an hour.
Okay.
But the total would be 17.
Fortunately, a natural 1 is always a failure, so...
You had to oppose me. You couldn't be my ally. I will take my shot and remain silent for the rest of this conversation.
I'll take Lundy, because I had one on.
I feel like we could get more help if we were actually truthful with the gravity of the situation.
He stands up
This
out of
is
his...
politics! You are never truthful!
He stands up out of his throne and he looks at you guys and he goes, I'm not a simpleton. My father was one of the greatest heroes. Regulus Dane's father was one of the greatest heroes who shaped this land. We've been fighting a war for the last 20 years. I'm not an idiot. You can be truthful with me.
And I don't think you are. Apparently, my companion here does.
So, Ithlin, speak truth then.
Well, I'm sure you're aware of our once companion, Lawless.
Of House Andrognia, yes. His
Yes.
sister holds my counsel.
Yes. He is amassing the souls of these dragons. Apparently, to fight the gods themselves for some reason or another that we have yet to come across. My companions seem to think that this will not be the end of the world in all things, that a mortal should be trusted with the power of the gods, themselves feared, should lock away. Do you realize what's happening? If these dragons don't cause the apocalypse, it's entirely likely that Lawless himself will. What do you think will happen if he has the power to kill a god, absorb his power, kill the rest of the gods? Everything will be oblivion. This is the gravity of the situation that we are fighting, that my friend would explain away.
Yes. Here's our situation is grievous. To think Lawless, the most trusted knight, would turn against us.
Oh, he sunk us to the bottom of the ocean. He's tried to kill us multiple times.
What do you need of Arya and its people? An army? I can offer so little.
We need to know more about this Lawless. We need to know more about what it is he's trying to do. I find it difficult to fight an enemy we know so little about.
I know only that his father was a trusted knight and he followed in his footsteps. Until some years ago where he left.
Is there no one who would know more about him?
My father, perhaps, but he died during the rebellion.
If I may interrupt, the real reason we're here is we think that his sister knows more about him than anyone else.
I will summon her at once if it will help your cause.
That would be most appreciated. I initially didn't mention all of this because I didn't want to upset anybody, but here we are.
Well, it will help protect my kingdom and further kingdoms to come. You have my aid. I will call her this once. Perhaps you shall meet this evening after you've had time to rest and bathe yourselves and make yourselves proper.
Yeah, sorry about that. I insisted that I be allowed to go and get something to cover up with, but Sir Regulus Dane over here suggested it was protocol I come at once, so here I am.
Yes. Well, it is good you came when you did, but I will see you this evening then. In the meantime, the castle is yours. Find a room, find a kitchen, whatever you may need. I will call Lawless' sister here at once. I shall arrange for the meeting to be held this evening.
Very well. Bear starts backing away slowly, kind of bowed with his hands behind his back.
You notice that several of the guards in the room draw their swords and point them at you as you draw your scimitars.
Calm down, everyone. I'm just backing away slowly.
With your swords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
the scimitars behind back, backing away.
Well,
I kind of like bow, like thank you, and like walk by. There's like, put those away.
Put what away?
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
And I just kind of
You
walk
going?
off.
Okay, Mr. Intellect, you're not going to explain to me. I suppose I'm so simple you can't get the point across. Expect me to read your mind like some woman.
read your mind like some woman as you hold your hands.
Read your mind, tapping the scimitar on my head.
Well,
Put these away.
with a month-long journey behind you guys, and new things to consider, and new pieces of the puzzle to try and fit into wherever it may well be, whether it be what Lawless's plan is, or what the dragons intend to do, or even the gods themselves. So we'll pick this up next week. Everyone, thank you for watching, whether you're new or old. Just the continued amount of people who show up every week, whether it's 1, 2, 3 of you, who cares? You guys are great. If you want to help us out even a little bit more, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to our Twitch channel for free. It doesn't cost you anything at all. It's just an additional free thing you get for Amazon Prime. But just watching every week is absolutely enough. I hope you enjoyed the music. I am legally obligated to tell you it is not my music. This is all from the royalty-free section of YouTube, so all the artists there put this music out there and allow people to use it, and they are wonderful. So you can just look up the royalty-free section of YouTube in general. It's literally labeled as that, so you can find it there. And use this in your games, because music makes the games better. Until then, we'll see you guys next week, and stay nerdy, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.